Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to work, cause my boss is a jerk, and I'm not even that paid. I need a change in my life, cause I don't feel alive, and there's nothing that makes me happy. Hold my beer for a minute, I'm about to quit my job, cash in for a ticket. I'm going on a trip and I don't plan to visit. I'm gonna stay there till I feel like I'm winning, and this is just the beginning. I need a big change, help me feel like living. I need a big swing, home runs I'm hitting, and I'll never look back, moving on till I get it all. And we all got dreams, we all want things, but what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? And do you believe you can do anything? But what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? Let's go! Hey! Yeah, this is my life, my strife, my right to fight, to die, and this is my game to play, to claim a brand new name, and I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm a bit nervous that I might screw everything up that I've ever done. But what's the point of living if you ain't having fun? I guess I'll try this, try that, might miss, gotta find what I'm good at. I guess I look here, look there, over where am I scared, where am I at? I gotta make it in this life, whatever makes me happy, know I'm doing things right. Sipping in the summer on a goose and Sprite, or find a nightclub for the end of the night, And we all got dreams, we all want things, but what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? And do you believe you can do anything? But what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? Girl, you got me shook from the way your body looks. Got me riding hooks, got me feeling like a rook. I don't do it by the book, but for you I'll take a look. Don't know what your mama took, sweet and spicy like a cook, yeah. I'll keep it real, let's make a deal. Buy you a meal if you just let me feel. Get out your heels, grab on the wheel. Back to my place at the top of the hill. Don't have regrets, I know what's next. She need a fresh, I'll be back in a sec. Look at them legs, don't make me beg. Back to the room, let me show you my bed. Touching on your body feels like taking on a drug. You got me feeling good, yeah, you got me feeling numb. Everything you do, I can't seem to get enough. You got me feeling good, yeah, you got me feeling numb. Touching on your body feels like taking on a drug. You got me feeling good, yeah, you got me feeling numb. Everything you do, I can't seem to get enough. You got me feeling good, yeah, you got me feeling numb. I could look at you all day, watch the way them hips sway. Love your body, so I pray, don't you dare take it away. Can't control what I say, lost my mind cause your frame. Hey girl, what's your name? Lit me up just like a flame. Body in motion, I feel the commotion. Be on you like lotion, I'm honest and broken. I flow like the ocean, I feel you were chosen to fix me, I'm broken. My heart that you stolen, hey. Stay with me, play with me, lay with me. Hate to see when you leave, chemistry feels like it's destiny. I just want you laying next to me, and I really don't want you to ever leave. On your body feels like taking on a drug. You got me feeling good, yeah, you got me feeling numb. Everything you do, I can't seem to get enough. You got me feeling good, yeah, you got me feeling numb. Touching on your body feels like taking on a drug. You got me feeling good, yeah, you got me feeling numb. Everything you do, I can't seem to get enough. You got me feeling good, yeah, you got me feeling numb. to trust in, yeah. I needed something.
Hello. I'm back to streaming. Hello. It is me. It is I. Holy shit, it has been a minute since I was live. There we go. Hello. Yeah, it's definitely been a little bit since I have streamed for various reasons, which I will get into later on in the stream. But yeah, I am back. So first of all, plan for today. The fuck are we gonna do? Well, I actually have a great plan, which involves of me drinking iced Coke and eating my lunch. No, I'm kidding. So. Right. What I want to do today is, first, I want to... Well, maybe not first. Maybe we'll do that later. I want to react to a bunch of Roster Mania, because there is so much to go through, and I think it would... First of all, I think it would make for a great video, because there's a bunch of moves that I think are questionable, both in good and bad ways. And also, I have several stories that I want to tell, actually, of just shit that, like, has happened to me, like, while I was gone. Partially also, like, stuff that has to do with the weather, because, well, the fuck is happening, guys? Like, you know, let's be honest. Like, why are we sitting inside of a Minecraft blast furnace? Anyway. Right. So, I also got a new mouse pad. I got a, extra fine mouse pad. This one. Which, hopefully my mouse will, like a bit more, because my Pulsar clearly absolutely hates the SteelSeries QCK. Mouse pad. This one. My Pulsar absolutely hates it. I'm retiring it for a bit. Maybe I'll bring it back out. But my Pulsar has like a mental breakdown every time it has to use that mouse pad. So I bought a different one. It is smaller, but it like the mouse glides a lot easier. And I'm hoping it's gonna stay that way because it's made out of a different sort of cloth. So there's that. Right. So the heat wave, huh? I mean, I'm sitting here with my window wide open, right? Because, I mean, it is 28 degrees where I live in Hertogenbosch. And it looks like it's not going away anytime soon. It's gonna get a little better coming week, but look at our 10-day forecast real quick. What the fuck? So it's gonna stay around 23 degrees the entire week. And then in 2 weeks from now, it goes back up to like 30. Why? I don't want it to go back to 30. I can't function in 30-degree weather. I feel sticky. You know what I mean? I don't like feeling sticky. It's not good. I really don't. I'm not a big fan of feeling sticky. Alright. So. Okay, never mind. I got nothing that YouTube recommended. Alright. I guess I'll eat later. I want to start with the Roster Mania because just what the hell is going on with the Roster Mania. So we've had a bunch of moves, right? So I think the Roster Mania starts where? I mean, it starts pretty much all the way down here with the Gaming Gladiators news. Oh, no, it goes further. Yeah, right here is where it starts. So I kind of want to react to all of it, including like the Tier 2 stuff, because I think some of it is pretty interesting. Like, for example, this one. Crims joins Eyeballers. I think this one is very interesting. I think this is a sick move. I don't know too much about Eyeballers, like, outside of it just being JW's team. I don't even know who's on it right now. I remember them playing at whatever PGL event they were at. So who's on the team right now? It's Maxter, Rolf, and Dex. Wait, did they bench Bobex there? Is that what happened? Oh, he went to Alliance. Ah, okay. That's interesting. Yeah, so this is, I guess, the Eyeballers roster now, which I think this is good. I think that I don't know. I think people have been giving JW shit for, like, still, you know, being on the op and, well, the op being this. But the thing is, first of all, he's the op IGL for this team, and also, I don't think this has anything to do with, like, JW not wanting to give up the op. I think the reason he's op IGLing for this team is because, like, let's be honest, when was the last time that Sweden produced any good opping talent in this game, right? I mean, the last time was probably, like, the most recent one I can think of is probably Era, which is Alliance's opper. So I think that if JW was able to scout someone from Sweden who was, like, a very talented opper, he would switch to the rifle and give him the op if they could get him on Eyeballers. But as long as that doesn't happen, I think JW is going to stay on the op, which makes sense. But I think Crims being added to this team, I think makes perfect sense. Because now they're following the exact blueprint the bunch of other teams are doing, where you have 2 older experienced players and 3 rookie noobs, basically. And Maxter is, by the way, a very good player on this team. Maxter is their best player by a long shot. Dex is struggling as their entry. And I don't know if that's just, like, because I don't know why Dex is struggling, but I want to see this team, like, succeed. I want to see them show up at some like tier 1 events, and hopefully this will, you know, get them there. Next, this one's super interesting. Luminosity target Manticore. So the North America okay, I can't speak anymore. The North American organization is looking to re-enter the game with an international lineup. So they want Bemas, Zuu, and Afro as the core, which is interesting. Rainwaker, the latest addition to the team, could also move to the North American organization in a transfer deal. But it looks like that's not their primary target. While IGL Gizmi is in talks to join a different project. We'll get to that later. The team is expected to be captained by Lux. Okay. Locked in talks with Luminosity. Does Lux speak fluent English, though? That's my kind of problem with this. Because they would have Bimas, they would have Zuu, they would have Afro, and they would have Rainwaker. And then they would have Lux. This is a team from all over the place. They would have Lithuania, UK, France, and what is this? Bulgaria. And then Brazil. That is one of the weirdest countries on one roster, like, type deal that I've ever seen. That is so fucking weird. Luminosity returned to activity in January 2026 when founder Steve Maida reacquired the brand from Vertical Studios for 300,000 Canadian dollars, which is approximately 212,000 in American. 7 years after he sold the company to Aquilini Gameco Inc. in a deal worth 21.5 Canadian million. Holy shit. So he sold it, wait, so he got 16 million for it. Yeah, so he sold it for 16 million, and now he bought it again for 200 grand. That is amazing profit. Someone, like, leak me this guy's business model, please, because holy shit. I want to learn how to make that kind of money. What the hell? I will say Monty's definitely the most interesting team at the major. Like, I think out of all the teams at the major, Monty by far was the most interesting one because they pleasantly surprised pretty much everyone. I think Gizmi's a very capable IGL, a lot more capable than I expected him to be, actually. I'm gonna be honest, for the longest time I thought that Azu was the IGL on this team, but I guess Azu just sucks. um... Yeah, I don't know. Like, especially before the major, they also looked very good. They win some tier 2 LAN as well. I can't remember what it was. I think they won CCT finals or something. Something like that. But it would be interesting. I think if they get Lux as their IGL, I don't know. Do I think Lux is a better IGL than Gizmi? I think that remains to be seen. I think that's a hard comparison to make because I think they have a very different style of calling. Cash replaces Overpass and Active Duty map pool. Well, I'm not really going to talk about this now because we'll get to this later in the stream because I'm probably going to be learning Cash later on in the stream, like learning smoke lineups and that kind of shit. But yeah. I'm going to be completely honest. I don't like Overpass going. I'm getting really annoyed at... This is the second time that they brought Overpass back in and then immediately took it out. When Counter-Strike 2 first came out, Overpass was in the map pool originally, right? Overpass was in the map pool at the first CS2 major in Copenhagen, if you guys remember, and Dust 2 wasn't there. And then they replaced Overpass with Dust 2, so they brought Dust in, Overpass was out. Then they brought in like Train, they took out Anubis, that kind of stuff. Eventually Train was out, Overpass came back in. Now they're replacing Overpass again with Cash. And I do not like this. I do not like that. What confuses me is Overpass is the map that was one of the biggest selling points of Counter-Strike 2 originally. Because originally, Overpass, I believe, was the first map in CS2 that was fully remastered, right? Because some maps just got like a basic glow up in the Source 2 engine. Some maps were left practically untouched and just like received very minor lighting changes. Overpass was rebuilt entirely in Source 2, and that was a big like selling point for Valve. And for some reason, they just keep replacing it, which doesn't make sense to me. Why is it that the map that you put the most effort in, which like in my head, if you put that much effort into this map, you would want to show it off more, wouldn't you? But no, for some reason, they're just like, we'll just take it out again. And the reason this also kind of triggers me is because Overpass in the Faceit map pool was definitely one of the more complex maps. I wouldn't say it's the most complex, although I feel like some people would argue me on that. But it's definitely up there, for sure. And I don't like that is the map that they're replacing because it tells to me that they don't want maps to be too complicated because... I don't know. I guess they realize that a lot of players don't feel like bothering to relearn the map completely, and so they're just like, okay, we're not gonna make you relearn the map. We'll just get rid of it. That is kind of what this like tells me, and I don't like that at all. And I worry that maps like Anubis, for example, are going to have a similar fate. Because Valve is absolutely never going to remove Dust or Mirage again. That is just a fact. Mirage more so. Dust already wasn't in the map pool at one point in time, and people were screaming for it to come back, and it was really annoying. Mirage is never being removed from the map pool. I need you guys to stop assuming that Valve is going to replace Mirage with literally any map, because it is never going to happen. Mirage is the most played map in Counter-Strike, period. And just because of that fact alone, it is never going away, because it's their most played map. Valve sees that, and they wanted to stay that way. So they're not going to remove it. I will say, though, I would have really liked to see Cash replace something like Ancient, because I think Ancient, and I think a lot of people will, agree with me on this. Ancient and Cash, I think, play very similar. And I would have loved to see one of them swap out for the other, because now I feel like, I don't know. Ancient is basically just Green Mirage, but it's also very similar to Cash. So you basically have the same map 3 times in the pool, which I'm just not a fan of. But as we know, Counter-Strike 2 loves catering towards the casual player. Smile. 100 Thieves Eye Gizmi is new IGL. So this is actually interesting because initially I thought this meant that they're benching Rain and they're just like it was just gonna be minus Rain plus Gizmi, but apparently that's not the case. Apparently, where does it say that? Yeah, the British IGL will take up captaincy duties from Rain, who's expected to transition to a different role within the team. So he's not going to be cut from the team. And, I mean, it's pretty obvious who this is for. It's for Agile, because he's definitely the team's weakest link, and we all know the business model in Counter-Strike 2. When your team is struggling, you cut the anchor, right? We all know that that's how it works. That's how it always worked. That's how it always is going to work. I don't know. I think that 7 months being like an IGL for the very first time is just not enough time. I think he needs more time to adjust to the IGLing more. It makes sense to put Rain back into anchor roles because that is definitely where he thrives, and he can still be the second caller on the team in those roles. So I wouldn't say it's a bad move. And having a more experienced IGL on your team will definitely, like, thrust them forward. And 100 Thieves right now is actually in a very good spot because they just started getting invites to Tier 1 events. They got an invite to the Blast event. I think it's Blast Bounty that they're in. Yes. Yes, they are. Now, I don't think that they're going to be playing this event with Gizmi, because is Monty in here? Let me see. No, Monty is not in here. I don't know how the fuck Heroic is in here, though, because this... I'll get to Heroic later. And Gentlemates as well. And NIP, which is funny. There's actually a lot of Tier 2 teams in here. Wildcard. I forgot this team exists. Focus has also been rumored to make roster moves. I heard something about that. Nemesis and Nemiga are actually very interesting that they're in here. Because these are... Like, Nemesis more so, I think, is an exciting Tier 2 team. Because they have a lot of potential. They just need to not suck. Also, Food being in here is funny because of... And G2 as well. We'll get to that. Anyway. Yeah. So I think it's going to be minus Agile plus Gizmi. Rain is going to take over Agile's roles, and Gizmi is going to take over Rain's roles. I think it will definitely make this team better. The problem is that at that point, this will basically be the Unk team. Even though Gizmi is not that old, but you have someone in a non-fragger position, and you have 2 players in fragger positions that are very old and definitely, you know, like, falling off visibly. Even though Device is frying right now, but let's be honest, what teams is he frying against, you know? It's against TDK, Gen 1, Leo, aware. Fucking Phantom, Ursa, and Oramond, you know? Not exactly state-of-the-art teams. Now, let's look at how he's doing against, I don't know, let's say top 20. He's never played a top 20 team. Okay, top 30. What? Top 50? God damn. I didn't realize they were that far down. Yeah, like, top 50 teams, he's a 105. Which is, like, not great. Even though recently he has been better. But, like... I don't know. I mean, I guess we'll see how Device performs at Blast Bounty. If Device does well at Bounty, I take back what I said, okay? Maybe, like, he just had a slump and he's so back. But, I don't know. I don't know. Like, even towards the end of his Astralis days, he also was not looking great. Like, at the end here, he was really, really struggling. So I don't know. I could be wrong, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. This one's funny. Liquid target JT as new IGL. The South African is set to reunite with Elige. Okay, so Liquid. I have also seen rumors that apparently Ultimate is also getting benched. So the two polls are getting benched on Liquid, and I've heard rumors who Liquid is targeting to replace Ultimate, but I'll get to that later. JT and Liquid, I would really like to see this. I actually think this would be fucking dope. My issue with this is that I don't know. Like the problem with Liquid is their issue does not lie in the players. Everyone knows this. Liquid's issue is not that their players are bad. All their players are extremely capable. I swear to God, it's just something in like the management or something, because we all know the saying, like, everyone goes to Liquid for their career to die, right? And I mean, Elige has also... Oh my God, Elige has been buns recently. What the hell? What the fuck is this? Elige, man, what are you doing? Was that at the major? Oh no. Oh no. How? How in the fuck? I mean, Elige is... Yeah, I mean, Elige is 28, so... You know, fair enough. I guess my goat is becoming washed. I feel like now that Nico has won his major, Elige is probably the best example of the king without a crown whole, like, ordeal. Because he's played in so many majors, and he has not won a single one. I don't even think he's been in a grand final once, has he? I know he has. He has. When Liquid was on fucking... He was in a grand final against Luminosity, I think, right? Oh, not Luminosity, SK. He was on Elevate at one point? What the hell? I remember when Elevate was like a tier 2 team and the whole region just fucking hated them because they were dicks. I don't know. I would love to see how Liquid performs under JT. I still don't think this is going to solve anything. I think... I don't think anything is going to change. I think they definitely need a sniper upgrade. I think they need something... They need someone more aggressive. Because Ultimate is just... I don't know, man. Ultimate is just Ultimate. Like, let's just be honest. He's wildly inconsistent and just... I think Ultimate definitely has potential. I just don't think Liquid is the right environment for him. I don't even think Ultimate is that bad because his highs are definitely high. But, right? Like, let's put it that way. I think he got thrusted into a top-tier team too quick. I think he would really thrive in a team like... honestly, fuck it. Put him on Heroic. Genuinely. I would love to see Ultimate on a team like Heroic. I would love to see that. Because Heroic does not have a capable Opper right now. Well, they don't have a proper Opper. They have Youngstar as their Opper, which, well, you know. Let's just be honest. I would love to see Ultimate on this team. I think he could do pretty fucking well. And if not, throw him on something like, honestly, fuck it. Put him on NRG, because OC is just not it anymore, let's be honest. I mean, oh my god. Oh my god. Holy shit. We need Exotic back right now. No, but like, genuinely, put Ultimate on fucking NRG. Let him farm NA for a bit. He would do great. But JT as an IGL, as like a sole new piece for Liquid on its own, isn't going to solve anything. Giving Gladiators bench squad in light of changes to the major revenue structure. Yeah, so I think we're going to be seeing a lot more of this. I'm just using this as an example because... Holy fuck, my back is sweaty. Fuck. I might have to take off my tank top. Holy fuck, it's so sweaty. Yeah, so they benched their entire roster in light of changes to the major revenue structure. This is going to happen a lot. So, if you guys don't know, at the Cologne Major, before it even started, Valve changed the way that sticker revenue works. Before, when you got to the major, you got your sticker revenue no matter how you placed. It did not matter how you placed. It did not affect your sales. Now the way it works is you get a bigger percentage of the sales of your stickers based on how you perform at the major. So if you exit the major in dead last, you only get like 0.02% or whatever the fuck. If you get to like the playoffs of the major, you get like 30% or something like that. I covered this in a video in the past. And so basically, a lot of tier 2 teams that just want to make the major to get the sticker sales got fucked over by this because they make a lot less money from making the major now, so it's just not worth it anymore. Which is why Gaming Gladiators, and I think a lot of other tier 2 orgs are going to follow in this, are going to exit Counter-Strike because it's just not a profitable model for them anymore. Let me go. This one's funny to me. Fnatic make Chikazmo's loan permanent. Fnatic basically just are Ukrainian like academy roster at this point. They have Fear, who then brought all his Ukrainian pals along. They already had Jambo, who's been doing great for them. They have Chikazmo, who's been doing a lot better since Krims has left. And then they have Brotko now, who sucks. And I really wonder who their fifth is going to be. I have no idea. It's just so funny to see like the fall off of Fnatic, because they used to actually mean something, man. Like when they had Cypher and Blame F on the team, that was a fun team to watch. Now it's just like who cares about Fnatic anymore? And here we go. Gentlemates in negotiations to sell roster set to leave Counter-Strike. Now, this one's a little bit different from the Gaming Gladiators one, mostly because Gentlemates didn't make it to a major. They tried to make it to the major twice, and they failed both times. They were just outside the top 32. And also this. Their offer was the subject of interest from FaZe. Now, this didn't actually go through. Because FaZe went with someone else, but I'll get to that later. I feel really bad for them. I still think that Gentlemates as a roster has a lot of potential. Heretics, KOI, and Giant X, whoever the fuck that is, reportedly interested in acquiring the roster. I still think these guys can do great together. I really, really do. You could, for all time's sake, swap Martinez out back with Sampayas, just for shits and giggles. I do think Martinez is better than Sampayas. I'm just going to be completely honest with you. I think he is the better opper, even though they're both up there in terms of age. I do think Martinez is more capable. I think Sampayas is a little bit too passive for his own good. I think that's his biggest issue. So FaZe was trying to get Martinez. That didn't happen. They got someone else instead. It's honestly just sad to see, man. I really did like Gentlemates as a team. BC Game secure permanent Senzu signing. I'm not talking about BC Game. I'm not going to talk about BC Game. They don't have a roster. Guys, what do you want me to say about BC Game? They don't have a roster. The roster is simple, Electronic, and Senzu. And like, okay, they have a very solid AWPer. They have a solid rifle duo. But who is their anchor and who is their IGL? Because as long as we don't know this, I'm just not going to talk about this team because there's literally no point. Oh yeah, I should also probably talk about this. Legacy actually benched, well, he benched himself, Nissim. So Nissim actually benched himself because he had an absolutely disgustingly bad major. I mean, let's just, if we go, how do I do this again? I forget. This? And then events. Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah, that is not what you want to see at the major. And I'm guessing he felt absolutely horrible about it. He benched himself. Apparently, they were trying to get Insani, but that did not happen because Insani is to remain with MIBR. Now, MIBR has actually made their own changes because Klim's loan with MIBR expired. So, MIBR have, yeah, they got NQZ from Payne's bench. Now, what confuses me about this is that they now have 4 Brazilian people on the team and LNZ who doesn't speak Portuguese, which is extremely confusing to me. I'm guessing that they're going to get a different IGL and LNZ is going to go somewhere else. But I don't know. This roster is just a bit weird. I do think that NQZ is a great opper. I'm very glad that he got like another chance on a decent Brazilian team. "3D Max bench exercise." This one is just fucking hilarious because they got Kersey to join them as a rifler. So exercise got benched. Yeah, he wasn't great, let's be honest. But 3D Max have also just not been very impressive. Now, Kersey was widely regarded as one of the worst oppers in Tier 1 we've ever seen. He was buns with the op. He was 0-9-5 on Gamer Legion as their opper, and it was just not great to watch him. It was genuinely like watching Ultima 2.0. And yeah, he's now going to be joining them as a rifler. And I'm guessing the secondary op, which I don't know how I feel about that. They do still have Masuda. He's been alright. The rest of the team is just very, very whatever. How's Maka doing, actually? Yeah. I don't know. I still think Gravity is just buns on this team. I think Gravity is just... I don't know, man. I don't know if he's still IGLing or if it's Maka again or if it's Gravity again. It's like I swear to God. Fuck. They switch their IGL every like 2 weeks. It's fucking insane, and I hate it. I need more Coke in a second. I don't know. 3D Max just doesn't interest me as a team anymore. They were interesting at first. They just don't do anything anymore. I never hear from them anymore. Then we have this. G2 bench Sampaio. The Spanish Leper has given his marching orders after a year on the team. So, I mean, honestly, I expected this. The thing is, Sampaio is definitely a capable opper. He's not the star of the team, mostly just because Heavy God exists, right? Heavy God has been absolutely insane on G2. I mean, look at this. Look, like, how was he at the major? Oh my Jesus! This is their anchor player, chat. This is G2's anchor, and look at this. How the fuck is this your anchor, bro? At one point in time, G2's anchor was fucking Nexa, and now they have this. Can you imagine, right, a roster where they have this as their anchor, they have Nico and Monesi still on the team, they still have, I don't know, who's the best IGL that G2's ever had? I don't know. Either Nexa as the IGL or have Hunter there. I guess Hunter could probably work, right? And then just have one more rifler in either Matz's or Nerds, depending on the rules. Because I at this point, I have no idea what Mattis's role is, mostly because Heavy God's roles, like, especially on the T side, I don't understand. It feels like he's just free to do whatever he wants just because of how good he is. I mean, yeah, he's mostly a closer. I want to say he's their lurker, but I also feel like it's not that precise. Like, when you think of a team like Vitality, right? You have Flames, clearly their entry fragger. Rops, clearly their lurker, right? Because that's what they all excel at. And then you have Mezzi as this kind of like support rifler. And it's very clear because Mezzi is most of the time the guy to set up the other riflers or Zaiwu with either utility or he assists them in one way or another. On a team like G2, to me, it's not so clear. And I think that's mostly because they just kind of let Heavy got do whatever he wants, and then the rest of the team just kind of works around that. So some roles you'll have Mattis on the lurk, you'll have Nurse on the lurk, right? It's not so clear cut. But anyway, Sanpai's got benched on G2, which is sad. I liked when they first signed him, when they got Saw and Senpaias from Heroic, both of them at the same time. I thought it was a great move, because Senpaias was pretty good on Heroic. I do think that Senpaias' prime names are definitely over. The guy's 27. I think after this, I still think... Jesus, voice crack. I still think he can be very good on a team like Heroic, like some tier 1.5 level team. But I don't think he can stick around in tier 1 for too much longer. I would be very surprised to see him on another tier 1 team, to be honest. And then there's this. What the fuck is this? G2 complete Wrinkle signing. The Ukrainian opera joins the Color Major quarterfinalists in a surprise move. What? So G2 went from Monacy, arguably one of the best, if not the best opera in the world right now. Because I genuinely think on the op, he is better than Zaiwu. I just think Zaiwu is a much more capable rifler. They go from Monacy to Senpaias, which is clearly a downgrade. Now they bench Senpaias, and they're like, hey, what if we go even lower? What if we go to Wrinkle, who got benched on NIP, by the way, because he couldn't frag in CCT events. Let's look at Wrinkle on NIP, right? I mean, he's 118 right now, which good for him. I guess he had a little bit of a buff, like, towards the end, you know, because he just fried a bunch of times on maps like Mirage. Literally, bro, he's like the best Mirage player ever. But then you put him against, like, let's say top 10. Okay, top 20. I mean, against top 20, he had a 1.04, which is, like, not great. Where did he mostly struggle? He struggled against FaZe. He struggled against G2 and Astralis and Heroic. He seems very inconsistent. He definitely seems like a hit or miss. Let's check top 30. It's really not much better. Top 50, still not much better. So I think it's not really his skill that's the problem. I think it's just his consistency. Which is really, really worrying, because I feel like Senpaias had a very similar issue. I mean, Wrinkle is younger, and I wonder if that has something to do with it. I wonder if Saw thinks that, okay, I need an opera that is similar to Senpaias, which I think Wrinkle definitely is now. But someone that's a bit younger, because, I mean, Senpaias is definitely getting up there in age. So in that regard, this could work, but I don't know. I feel like GTO is once again just smoking meth, if I'm being completely honest. I don't think this is their answer. And I also don't understand why they do this when they can literally just call up Klim to the main team. That is what I don't... Like, I get that they want to sell Klim for a big bag. I get that. But fuck, you could also just get a big bag if you have a capable opera yourself, and Klim is that. We know that Klim is that. So, I don't know. This move is just... I mean, Wrinkle definitely has a high ceiling. We know he has. When he first joined NIP, he was great. And on Bates as well, he was also pretty good. I don't know what the hell this profile picture is, though. I don't know what he did with his hair there. But yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, I hope it works out. I really do hope that it works out. But I have no faith in him on G2. I'll be completely honest. Now, the biggest one of the day. FaZe bench Brokey. The Latvian player has been taken out of the starting lineup amidst rumors of FaZe looking for a new opper. This was really long overdue. Brokey is... As much as I've loved Brokey on FaZe, as much as how capable he was on FaZe for a while, like, look at this. He was top 20 in 2021. Then he went to top 6. He was the 6th best player in the world in 2022, the year when Navi won their major. Or FaZe won their major. Why the fuck did I say Navi? He was then top 10 in 2023, top 8 in 2024, and then he just plummeted. I have no clue what happened. I'm going to be completely honest. I don't know if it's the vibe and the team that changed. Honestly, I think that's got to be what it is. It's got to be like the vibe and like a confidence thing. I think that's what it is. It was confidence. Because in 2023, when CS2 first rolled around, like before the Copenhagen major, FaZe was still like winning everything, if you guys remember. Like the first few events of CS2, FaZe won all of them, right? Like, look at this. They had like this is where the FaZe era ended in 2022, and then they had Sydney, which this is when like CS2 started. They had Sydney, they had Thunderpick, and then CS Asia Championships, which they all won back to back to back. And then I can't remember if Complexity actually like won something against them. I don't remember. No, they didn't. Okay, they just came second to FaZe at Sydney then. And then they also won Chengdu, and then they did fuck all after that. They made a couple more playoffs, but after that, they really started to fall off. And that's when, like, this whole FaZe slump started to come around. Especially after the disappointments of the major. I think that's honestly what broke them. Because they were absolutely supposed to win the Copenhagen major, and it just didn't happen because FaZe, or Navi just played better, I'll be honest. Like, Navi were clearly the better team. Rops was in a huge slump during the Copenhagen major. I think if Rops had a better game at the major, I think they would have won. Then Shanghai came around. Rops was in his best form, arguably, ever. The rest of the team just sucked. Kerrigan sucked. Brokey sucked. Frozen was good. Rain was... it's Rain. He's always gonna deliver. But yeah, it's sad to see Brokey go, but it was long overdue. Now FaZe tried to get Martinez instead of him, but instead they actually got Jay Bowen, who was the opera on Big's academy team. I've watched some of Jay Bowen's games. He's definitely Big Academy's best player right now. Or he was their best player, I should say. Big Academy currently consists of Process, who was on Big's main team for a while. Widow and Donny, I have no idea who these people are. And who else was there? Who the fuck is Rest? Who else was there? And Tripax, whoever the fuck that is. Oh wait, this is without their opera already. Hold on. Or without Jay Bowen, I mean. They also had Taz. I don't know why they keep trying Ukrainian players. It's very interesting. I don't know if it's like the face duo of one of the German guys or something. So yeah, Jay Bowen is going to be FaZe's new opera. I mean, it's nice that they're trying this, honestly. Considering the roster currently consists of Frozen, Twists, and fucking Jacob, they might as well, right? They're not going to be able to afford a big buyout because two of their big players they let go without a buyout. First, Twist back in 2024. Was it 2024? I think it was 2024, right? And then also Frozen, or not Frozen. The fuck am I saying? Rops. They also let go without a buyout. He just simply didn't like re-sign his contract, and he was gone. Yeah, I don't know. FaZe management is just weird. This is genuinely the best move they could have possibly made. Just go the academy route and try to build a team back up with Twist IGLing, Frozen still fragging, and I don't know who the fifth is going to be. I think they're signing Nachu, who's already been playing for them, right? I believe that's going to be their signing. He wasn't great so far, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see and hope. I mean, he's only 20 years old, so they're going to be a younger team for sure. Twist is their oldest player, with Frozen right behind them. Everyone else is like Jacob's 22, Jay Bowen and Nature are both 20. It makes sense, right? And it's honestly the best they can do right now, so they might as well. I've already talked about this. Klim's loan to MIBR comes to an end, and MIBR signed NQZ. I'm really glad to see NQZ on a team again. I think he's probably the best opper in Brazil right now. I have no idea why he was benched on Pain. I believe it was for like family-related issues. But I'm surprised they didn't reinstate him. Because they absolutely could have. I don't know if he maybe saw the roster when he came back and he was like, I do not want to play with this. Also because Pain just hasn't been that good. Like, Pain currently is VSM and Pediager, for crying out loud, who are, you know, they're there. They have Big Azira, who is, I'm sure, a very, like, capable IGL. And then they have Snow, who, I'm just gonna be honest, guys, I understand Snow is 19 years old. He's just fucking disappointing. I don't understand these rumors of, like, but, like, these talks of Snow being Brazilian donk. He's a 110 right now, but on Pain, he has sucked, frankly. He has not been that good. I understand he's young, but, like, he's just not Brazilian donk, bro. If this is Brazilian donk, Brazil is cooked. So, yeah, I don't know. I honestly think that's what it is. He just saw Pain's roster. He was like, I don't want to go back to this. Get me somewhere else. And they were just like, okay. I think that's, yeah, I think that's pretty much what happened. Did I miss anything? Yeah, not really. Yeah, that's... Oh, fuck. That's just about the roster mania that we have. I think I'm definitely excited to watch FaZe. I do think that FaZe isn't gonna stay in tier 1 right now with these players. I think they're definitely going to fall off a little bit. I think they're going to have to grind tier 2 lands for VRS for a little bit longer, which is fine. I hope that Twists is fine with like fully transitioning into IGLing, because it's been really annoying seeing Twist like IGL on Liquid, and then he goes back to being a rifler. He does great. Now he needs to IGL again. It feels like, especially because Twist doesn't have much left in the tank. He's 26. He's getting up there, right? Yeah, he's 26 right now. He's good as a rifler, but he should not be IGLing right now. He should be, you know, he should be like still rifling now for like maybe another year or two, and then go into IGLing. It feels to me like he wants to IGL too quick. You know what I mean? But yeah. Right. Yeah, FaZe is definitely the most interesting one. The G2 one is weird. I don't know what to think of this. It's like I said, I hope he does well. If he doesn't, well, color me fucking surprised, I guess. Right, what do I want to do next? Do we just go play the game? I guess we just go play the game, right? Oh, actually, no. What I want to do now is I want to CS2 Cash. Because Cash is replacing Overpass, and I want to... How to play the newest Cash? azpectCS. Yes, please, give me this. Flom will open this as well. All must-know names for Cash. I'll open this one as well. Let's start learning Cash. I think that's a pretty good idea. Instead of just randomly DMing, which I'll probably be doing for like an hour, because I DM for way too long all the time. Let's do this.
Let's talk about some Cash stuff. So I want to play a couple of games on Cash, and I also just kind of want to talk to you guys about some things that I think you should know. So consider this like a very long-winded walkthrough of Cash, since you guys are going to be playing it in 2 weeks. And we'll probably upload this to the More azpectCS channel. So if you guys are watching over there, make sure you guys subscribe, and shout out to Parker, our editor. And so let's talk about cash. I think some things that we need to remember about cash is kind of like, what are the do's and don'ts at the beginning of the round? Because, some people don't really understand like how the map is to be played and what's a good fight, what's a bad fight, am I even able to do certain things? And what I mean by that is like, for example, going towards B, like when I'm going towards B, like when am I going to see somebody, right? When am I going to actually take this fight? What utility should I see? What should I throw? What should I, look out for, right? So I kind of want to walk through like the beginning of the rounds for B, A, and mid. And I think that'll probably be, like the most important thing for us to get through. We can talk about some like niche spots later. But yeah, I mean, I guess we'll just start with mid, because mid is like probably the one that most people are going to be involved in some way. So we'll start with T-side mid, because I think that, by the way, this isn't actually scripted at all. I don't know how I am able to just yap like I'm reading off a script, so that's a different level of autism or something. So anyway, I will incorporate any of your questions that you guys have, so feel free, you can ask questions. I will be glancing over the chat, and if I see something that's relevant to what we're talking about, I'll answer it, okay? So let's talk. Let's start with mid. So one thing that you're going to see a lot of people throw, and something that you're going to see a lot, is people throwing the mid smoke, right? Now, something that we talked about in an episode of Guide to Solo Queue series a couple of weeks ago was why. So like, what is the actual point of throwing the smoke? Is the spot that we need to smoke? Is it like window and mirage? Well, yes and no, right? A lot of people fall into this trap of just throwing a smoke because they just oh, I know this lineup, I'm going to throw it, right? And it is a smoke that you should be throwing every round. But let's talk about why that is. Why is that? Well, it's because the person that's coming out of CT spawn, they are going to be throwing their own set of utility, right? Whether they're throwing like mid smoke and jumping down and they're mollying the boost, right? Like these are the kind of things that they're going to be throwing every single round. And something that happens, and you might not realize this, is like, let's say on Mirage, if you're playing window, right? You're playing window, you go for the op pick, and they don't smoke you. What happens, right? What happens if you're in Mirage window and you don't get smoked? Well, you have all of the information, right? You know that there's nobody mid, and you know that it's very unlikely that they're able to go mid late in the round. You're expecting an A execute, you're expecting a B execute. That's kind of the same thing that happens on Cash, but with some more layers, right?
The difference with Cash, the window on Cash, is it's spammable through that wall, I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna open up, hold on. Give me a second. I'm gonna put CS on window mode so I can alt-tab between the two quicker. Because input lag doesn't really matter to me right now. Should probably go downstairs and grab some ice. Because I just report some coke. I should probably, do that. 1 second. Fuck, do I not have a paper towel here? Fuck, man, I spilled some coke. Damn it. Good enough. Alright. Right, I want to put my game on full screen window real quick. Full screen windowed. Apply settings. Yes. There we go. Alright, and then I'm just gonna cache, practice, boom. Just so I can, like, tap between the two quicker. Exec, practice, boom. Oh, skin's not working again? Great. I love when this happens. Alright. Now I can tap between the two quicker, which is nice.
Right? You're smokable, right? You're playing window, you go for the op pick, and they don't smoke you. What happens, right? What happens if you're in Mirage window and you don't get smoked? Well, you have all of the information, right? You know that there's nobody mid, and you know that it's very unlikely that they're able to go mid late in the round. You're expecting an A execute, you're expecting a B execute. That's kind of the same thing that happens on Cash, but with some more layers, right? You're smoking Z because this spot is really strong, right? This spot is really strong. You can peek towards the boost, you can peek towards Z, and it's also something that we need to do because we don't want them to know when we are coming mid and when we aren't coming mid, right? So that's kind of something that is like, it's like conditioning, but this is like the baby's version of conditioning. Like, these are...
Yeah, the problem that I wanted to speak up about is if I grab... I should grab an A4. Can you spam that? Yeah, so this is the issue that I have. Is that this is very spammable. So let's say you're standing, like, here. Like Austin is saying. Right? Like, right here. You probably could line this up. Something like that. Let me see, does that go through? Yeah, that does go through. You see that? I guess if you're standing a bit more, like, to the left, you should spam more like this. Right, something like that. Ah, but then that... Okay, okay. That's actually harder to spam than I expected it to be. I expected that to be, like, the freest spam of all. Because you can't really do that on Mirage, right? You can't really spam window from anywhere. If it smokes. You could, like... You can insta-smoke it and then spam the smoke from somewhere in mid, but then just what's gonna happen then is you're gonna get peeked by corner shorts. Whereas on cash, the only other spot you can really get peeks from is white box, I suppose. Which I actually really like playing up on white box, kind of like this. Because, I mean, you can pre-fire this, but it's a much trickier angle. Yeah. So that's probably not going to happen. Also, how was he smoking the window there? Was it just this? Yeah, see, even that I can't do.
Smokes you throw everything mid and when we aren't coming mid, right? So that's kind of something that is like, it's like conditioning, but this is like the baby's version of conditioning. Like, these are smokes you throw every round.
Okay, how the hell? Hold on. I need to play this back frame by frame. Okay, so he's on the green sign. Okay. So it's like this.
Smoke.
Good enough. What the fuck?
Laying down smoke.
That one landed. There you go. I don't know why that one landed and the other one didn't, though.
Smoke.
Yeah, now it's landing. Okay. Okay, cool.
Every round, and that's why. Because you don't want the CT mid player to just immediately know when you're coming mid and when you're not, right? Something we also talked about in that same episode of the Gadget Solo Q series is, do you smoke corner at long on T side, right? Well, if you only throw it on rounds where you're going long, player to just immediately know when you're coming mid and when you're not, right? Something we also talked about in that same episode of the Gadget Solo Q series is, do you smoke corner at long on T side, right? Well, if you only throw it on rounds where you're going long, then what's going to happen is those players are going to start to recognize that over the course of the 12 rounds, and they're going to say,
what is
every
long?
time we see this smoke, they come here, right? So sometimes you have to throw the smoke and not go, because then, you know, you keep them guessing, right? And this is the same thing, right? So that's the first thing that's, I think, really important to understand is why we're actually throwing the smoke. Now, the Z smoke isn't actually the most useful smoke in the world, in my opinion. I mean, it is a must throw, but it doesn't actually provide a ton of value because the CTs can just jump out to these secondary spots that are equally as strong, if not arguably stronger. And what you do to deal with that is completely different, right? So let's talk a little bit about that, right? So coming out mid, something that we're going to see a lot of is, oh yeah, the floating smokes. That's actually a good point. Let me turn those off. When we're coming out mid, something that we're going to see a lot of is, you know, the CTs have a couple of different options to start, right? So they can either start with a molly, which typically you would throw in order to prevent a mid rush. So if you're playing a team that's very strong, you're going to see a lot of this, right? Teams are coming to take the fights. If you're dealing with that, consider the molly, right? You don't always have to start with the mid smoke. Mid smokes are not just the only option, especially teams, like I said, that are very aggressive, that are just going to come through the smoke anyway. Adapt. Switch to what you're seeing, right? Because you could play 3 games of cash, and each game you could play a different kind of mid. Fast mid this game. Next game, they like to play slow and boost. The next game, they never come mid. So we need to be able to see what we're actually playing against and throw the correct utility, right? Like, if I start with a molly and they're never rushing, this is fine, right? We get to have our smoke late round. But what happens now, you know, like let's say if they come A, right? They throw the A smoke. Well, now we wouldn't have a molly to, let's say, deny the plant. Now we don't have a molly to help our teammate. Maybe we want a molly A main, right? Now we don't have these kind of utilities, and I missed it, of course, but now we don't have these kind of utilities to help our teammate. Not that we absolutely need these always, but you have to understand, like, what you're able to do with your stuff, right? So here we go. Another thing that you can start with as a mid player is, you know, the smoke. On the YouTube channel, we also talked about the instant mid smokes that I made up. I still think that they're viable, especially for pugs. I think pros will be throwing instant mid smokes. I actually do genuinely believe that. Maybe for what we're up to, maybe this isn't something that we super care about. Maybe we're more, that wasn't like, they're throwing from spawns, by the way. Maybe that's not something that we're super interested in. Maybe it is just a case that, you know, you start with the smoke, you jump down, and you molly the boost. Maybe that's something that we would start with. You know, again, you just have to be careful with what you're playing with. If teams are just busting down mid, then we have to.
There's gonna be smokes from T-spawn, 100%. Hello, Bromong. There's gonna be smokes from T-spawn for sure. CT spawn is harder because it's under a roof.
To adapt. And the final thing the CTs can start with is the double nades. So another thing I think I should have prefaced this with is the CT.
Which isn't really a problem because the CT spawn being under a roof, like you can just aim at some part of the roof and walk out. But then I worry about getting blocked by other people around me, which in Face It absolutely is going to happen.
Decide. This is something that a lot of people debate on to this day. Like, how do you play your CT defense? I actually will ask chat for this because I'm guaranteeing we're going to get 4 different answers. So when I say how do we play our defense, how many B, how many mid, how many A? Go ahead. What do you guys got? And while we were typing, I just like, there is no definitive correct answer, but one thing that, you know, is difficult is that everybody thinks they're right, and it does spark.
Okay, this is actually interesting. Okay, I personally think, Face It level 9 opinion here, I think you have 2 on B for sure, right? And I think you need to have 1 dedicated A anchor, right? And then I think you have a mid player, and then you have kind of similar to Connector on Mirage, where the con player kind of switches. It is a sandwich. I have 2 sandwiches. I haven't eaten yet today. So it's kind of similar to Connector on Mirage, where the con player on Mirage, he switches between helping mid and helping A side, right? If the T's are pushing mid, the con player is going to help mid. If the T's are pushing A, he's going to obviously help A from like stairs or jungle or something, right? I think the second A player is going to be something similar to that. I'm gonna call him the highway player, because he's going to be in this little lane. This lane right here. This is highway. And I think he's going to be switching between that a lot. He's going to be switching between places like either Heaven or Forklift, which is down there, or White Box, which is down here, to help either mid or A. I think that's what's going to be the case.
Correct answer. But one thing that is difficult is that everybody thinks they're right, and it does it gives a lot of debate, and people argue over this a lot. So 2-1-2, this guy said 1-2-2. We have 5-0 for sure. 1-3-1, right? A bunch of different options. 1-2-2 as well. Now, here's the thing, right? At the higher levels, you're going to have, most of the time...
1-3-1. Where would the third player mid be? In the vent? Or do you want... Like... How would you play 3 mid on this map? You can have 1 in window, or Z connector, whatever you call it. 1 on white box. What does the third go? Does he just sit in the fucking vent the whole round? Plus, you need a boost to get in the vent from checkers. So that makes no sense at all.
2 people mid, right? Most of the time, you'll have 1 person B, and then you'll have 1 person A. Now, I'm not accounting for one thing, okay? And that is the opper. So something that happens a lot on this map is you kind of have 2 float players, right? Like, and this is kind of similar to Nuke, because there's a lot of floating that goes on in this map. When I say floating, I mean switching spots from round to round. But I want you guys to keep this in mind, okay? There's 1 mid player, there's 1 A player, and there's 1 B player, right? That is a constant. Sometimes the opper will start B, and that gives you 2. And when the opper starts B, we need to make sure that, we are worried about, like, fast mid. So we would start 2 rifles here so we could get into the vent. Then, once we get into the vent, the opper can rotate to A. Something like that, right? Like, that's a goal that we could achieve. Or maybe the opper starts A. And if the opper starts A, well, maybe the rifle doesn't need to be here anymore, right? Maybe the rifle now can go play 2 mid, right? And then we have 1 opper A, 2 rifles mid, and 2 rifles doing, like, a bait setup at B, right? Maybe somebody gets into...
In my personal experience, playing with the op around quad, I always got pre-fired. Every single goddamn time.
Checkers, and somebody's holding a flash for him on a timing, right? Maybe, you want to run the opper A, and your A player now is getting baited for up here, right? Maybe now he's playing here to hold your door, right? And now you have 1 person mid, and 2 people B doing a bait setup. Or maybe you have the A setup, 2 people playing fast mid, and now because there's only 1 person B, we're getting into the vent so that way we can help our B player, right? What I mean is, there is actually no correct answer, right? There is no correct answer on how many people should be playing where. So it all depends on the ideas that you have in the round, right? This is a pug map. This is not a map where you're going to get punished. You won't get punished for playing, for example, 3A, 1B, 1 mid, right? You can, right, if there's a B player and he gets run over and now you're saving, right? But this is the one map that I feel like because the rotates are so fast and because B and A are basically, mid and A are right next to each other, and also mid and B are connected by the vent, and also the fast flank from B main, and also we have Heaven and Tree. You see, these fights are very... you're very involved, very, early into the round. You're going to be taking a lot of fights. The rotates are almost instant, right? So there's no correct answer. My thing is that when you're playing CT side, and this is hard. This is hard to actually do in a pug. This is hard to do when you're playing in a team, is just make sure that where you are makes sense based off of where everybody else is, right? That's all. So where are you based off of everybody else? Okay, so I'm the mid player, right? So I'm going to play mid, and I notice, that my opper is starting B. Okay. So where does the other rifle go? So we have a dedicated B player, that's true. We have 1 B player, 1 mid player, 1 A player, always. So where is our opper going to start? Our opper starting B. Okay. So where's our other rifle? Does my other rifle want to come mid with me? Does my other rifle maybe just want to throw like a mid smoke and then jump to highway so that he can just double A? Maybe he helps me, we break the vent just so they see the same thing. Does my other rifle want to get close mid?
Whoa, hold on.
That he can just double A, maybe he helps me, we break the vent just so they see the same thing. Does my other...
Hold on, why would you break the vent as a CT? Don't you want to keep that vent closed so you can hear them break it? So you know that... Because... I mean... Okay. You can play 3 mid on this map. You can get into that vent from checkers, but you need a boost to acquire it. And you're very vulnerable to a rush while you're performing that boost, which is the problem that I have with it. It's possible, but it leaves your B-side defense very, very vulnerable. And you might just get unlucky, and they might just rush B, and you will lose the side. So I don't know if that's worth it.
Other rifle want to get close mid. Maybe we want to play some sort of mid setup. After my opera shoots, we leave this guy here, and now if he's here, I could bait for him, right? Like, these are the kind of things that I want you to think about, right? There's no right answers. It's just make sure that it makes sense, right? Typically, as long as you're in a spot that, like, isn't leaving one site overly weak without having, like, a backup plan, you'll be fine. So, like, don't leave a solo rifle at A who's just playing, like, here. Then what are we going to do, right? What are we going to do if that happens? Well, I mean, I guess we're just going to flash over for him. This is really difficult, right? So, like, if that's the case, then we need the opera. We need the opera here. Or he needs somebody to draw some attention for him, right? That's the kind of stuff that you can see when you're helping your teammates. Okay, so now that we've established that, let's go back to what we were talking about, like, early round fights. So, you're playing towards A. What is something that we expect to see on T side? What is something that we need to throw? What is something that on A CT side we are going to be, like, needing to do, right? We need to stop the rush. We need to, prevent. Are the CTs pushing aggressive in A main? These are the kind of things that you think about. First thing is, before we even get up here, you have 3 choices, right? Coming towards A. You have 3 choices. You either go A main, you go squeaky, or you get boosted, right? Now, first, this boost does help mid, and we already talked about mid. Something that you should be doing is, if you don't already know this, the fast boost, if you stand there and then you just jump off people's heads, that is really fast, right? This is something that you can do really quickly, and being able to jump up on the boost right away is actually really hard to play against on CT side, because people are just up here. They are up here. There's no slowing down. It's just a quick little easy jump up like this, and I'm already up here, right? So make sure we're doing the boost this way, especially if it's out of spawn.
CT spawn?
Right? If you have the better spawn, just suck it up and boost your teammates, because if they get up there really fast, they're going to win, right? Now, of course, the mid players to counter this are going to throw this molly, and sometimes this molly will spread down into the entrance of A main. So this is typically what you're going to be looking for, right? So at the beginning of the round, you have a couple of options, because the CTs are either going to come up and fight you, which, will happen. They have a couple of ways of doing that. They're either going to have a teammate flash them in A main, or they're going to start with a smoke, right? You might see this smoke very often when you're playing, and when you see this smoke, you know that they could be coming around the backside. They could just come here and they could just start spamming. Even jumping up here is a really strong play against you. If you know that they're going to start with a smoke, right? You might see this smoke very often when you're playing, and when you see the smoke, you know that they could be coming around the backside. They could just come here and they could just start spamming. Even jumping up here is a really strong play against you if you're holding an A main. It's very difficult, right? This is something you need to be careful about. Now, conveniently, we do have this place that we can hide.
I never thought of that.
T side, so maybe we get here and we play anti. Maybe we get here and we have a teammate that's holding.
That's what I do. Yeah. That's what I do. Because in comp especially, everyone likes to just push, because people get bored on CT side, right? People want some action. So a lot of the times they'll, like, even if it's a solo A play, you're just like, I'll just go play for info. I force by MP9, man. I go die for information, for glory, blять. And he'll just, like, buy one flash and try to do, like, a Renion play in A main of some kind. So what I like to do is I like to hide in this corner and just listen for footsteps, because, like, they never shift into A main. They always rush.
Thinking about making your plan. Do we need to be in A main? Is the goal to come A main, or is the goal to end A late in the round, right? Do we know it? Do we have a plan? If we do we need to be A? Is my team working mid to go B? Do I need to be here? Is this spot good for me or is it bad for me? I have a fast lurk onto A side to catch the guy rotating, but is this necessary, right? Those are the kind of things you think about. Or squeaky, right? The last thing is squeaky. Now, something that can happen if you're going towards squeaky is you have to remember that sometimes the CTs can get here and they can actually open the door before you can hear, right? Now, on the radar, you can not see above me how you can't see how much sound the door makes, but sometimes the door can't be heard depending on where they're at back here, right? So be careful when you're coming up here on T side. There could be somebody already in. Could be on the left, could be on the right. Just something that you need to keep in mind, right? Something you need to keep in mind. And when we're coming up here, there's not a lot of things you can do. When you come squeaky, you are effectively, I don't want to say useless, but you're heavily dependent on what happens around the map, because it's not like Lurking Palace on Mirage where you can walk out at any time. You can throw a molly under Balk. You can't do anything from here, right? You can't even, there's no spam, there's nothing you can do. You can spam the middle of the site, but again, this isn't really something that is overly useful in pugs. This line is very common for people to stand in, but typically you're going to be spamming this as you're coming A. A lot of people think that a spot like this is really strong, and it is, but it's right in the line of the door, so that is really tough. The door cannot be blown open, so there is no way to really get any extra value.
It used to be.
Also,
it used to be also.
Oh, did they re-add it back in? Oh, you have to aim lower? Okay, so you can actually, you just have to aim at the bottom part. Okay, yeah, maybe. It seems a little inconsistent. Probably doesn't do that much damage, but yeah, that is an option, I suppose. But yeah, I mean, overly, there's not much for you to do here, right? Like, it's not a very, the 2 damage, so maybe we won't be doing that. Just keep that in mind. You're going to be here. A lot of the time, what you'll see when we watch this map be played in the pro scene is people are going to be doing this. They're going to be doing this. This was something that we saw a lot back in, like, 2018 when Cash was being played. We did a lot of this kind of jump spotting into fork into jumping around. Like, this is something that you'll see a lot of, right? You will see this when you're playing the map. Maybe you'll do that as well, but I would say, in general, squeaky is something that you really only want to do if you are trying to end A, because it's a power spot, right? Coming up highway, mid-split. This guy's hiding here, hoping, and then you open the door and you kill him, right? Like, that is something you should think about. Okay. Now, for the CTs, we didn't really have any set things to do for Ts. Like, Ts don't start by mollying A main. They don't start by coming up and flashing A main. Like, this doesn't really benefit the CT. Like, what does this do? Except for say, hey, there's somebody in A main, by the way. We typically don't want to do that as much as we can. We don't want them to have any idea, like, where you can and can't be. So that's something that you should also think about on T side. Like, we don't want to be making noise here. If we can help it, they can hear this, like, everywhere. So, something else to think about.
Yeah,
CTs have some options.
I definitely struggle with entering on this map because it's so... It's very op-friendly, especially around areas like highway, mid. you can go for the early B main peek with the op. You can go aggressive A main. You can peek into squeaky with it. Like, it's a very op friendly map, which I need to learn how to abuse that. But it's also very difficult to play against on the T side. Like, I need to, especially in mid. Like, I would love to in mid to go for like a peek with an op like from the boost. The problem is there's like 3 areas you need to clear. There is window or Z-con, whatever you call it in mid, right? Like that window thing. There's white box, and there is what's it called? Sandbags, which is like right in front of the window, right?
No, coming up and starting with like the A main smoke. Now the lineup for the A main smoke, I'm sure, is different these days. I don't remember the one that I put in the first video I made. Maybe it was like this. I actually don't remember at all. But either way, you can start with smoking A main, and we already talked about kind of like why this is good. The A main smoke lets you do things like maybe boost shroud. Maybe you can play, you know, in a spot that isn't necessarily great for you early in the round, but could be strong later.
Do you need
so,
a
like,
lineup for the A main smoke though? Can't you just like toss it yourself? Like, hold on. Surely, if I come here, right? I'm walking over. Can't I just? Ah, it's because of the fucking ramp there. Yeah, okay. That is inconsistent. I'm also just throwing it too far. So he's doing it like, what is it, like this? That should work, right? Hold on. Let's wait for the smoke to fade.
Can play up here and make sure nobody walks through. I mean, you know, the A main smoke is just exactly what it is, right? You're stopping them from coming A, letting the mid fight. Basically, that's how you should think about it, right? Like, the A main smoke actually isn't really for the A player. It's actually just setting a timer so that we can fight mid, we can do something early B, and then during that time while that's happening, you have a favorable fight if somebody does try to come out A while there's chaos happening, right? So, like, you know, your teammates are like fighting mid, help, 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 and so when you throw this flash, that's the timer that you're worried about, right? Like, if you're lurking A main, you're listening for that. You hear the mid fight happening, and then you walk out when that person throws a flash, right? And you end up in a weird spot like this. This is something that you should potentially be looking out for, right? That's something that you need to be careful for if you're the A player. But that's why.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen in comp. People are just gonna smoke A main and stare at the smoke for 20 seconds.
Throwing that smoke. You're throwing that smoke so that while everything else is happening, you're able to.
Because everyone is comp is
as
boring.
it happens, right? And again, you know, that's really the only thing that I'm worried about. Like, I guess T side, like, yeah, you have to worry about like a flash through. You know, CTs you could flash your teammates. You know, if you end up getting into here, maybe you just go for a dry peek. You know, that's something that also happens. And you know, maybe we don't see anyone and we just hide here. Now we have a power spot, right? That's pretty much like the only thing that matters for A. I think A is really boring. There's not a lot of early stuff. You either just run A or you don't. Okay, next.
All right. So I think the lineup was, if I move my mic correctly, it was just this. How does this bloom? Hey there, Delilah. What's it like in New York City? Okay, it needs to be a little bit deeper. That's what she said. That should be good. Right, look at the top window there. Because then it blooms inward of A main. But this is what triggers me. This fucking thing here. Because they can lurk out like this and, like, jump onto Shroud. And if you're playing around A side or quad, I don't think you will see that. Yeah, you're not gonna see them try to jump, like... You see the issue that I'm having? How does it bloom inside of A main? Yeah, it blooms fine inside of A main. I just need it to be, like... Maybe a little bit more... What if I... Oh, fuck. Okay, I'll just go back in his VOD. What is the...
only thing that I'm worried about have a favor just setting a timer so that we can feed and we're just here and pop this around like this. CT benefit the CT, like what is like, everywhere, so you know, something else to think about. CTs have some options. You know, coming up and starting.
Aha! He's aiming way higher. I'm actually dumb. He's aiming there. And that works somehow.
Smoke.
Wow. Really? And then you can just... Wait, blood, that's so much better! Look at this! Oh, that would piss me the fuck off having to play against this. Okay, so it's... This... This... Okay, nice. Yeah, that's cool. And then you can just help your mid fight, kind of like this. Flashing again. Yeah. Alright, that's cool. That's useful to know.
With like the stop them and the CT mollies a very common misconception people have in lower elos or when they first start playing is that CT mollies do less damage. Well, that's not true, but because they're smaller, most of the time you'll only tick one time, if any, right? So they actually hurt the same if you can molly it, correct? But it'd be really unexpected. You know, I don't think this is something that you want to do. Like, you know, you're playing a low buy, you know, you have a 5.5 second molly. Like, are we gonna molly A main to make sure that they can't rush out on us? Maybe, but also at the same time, like, this doesn't, like, the molly doesn't actually prevent them from fighting you, right? Like, this doesn't stop them from taking these fights on the deagles. And I would much rather just smoke this and spray people running through a smoke than I would have a molly up and they can still fight me, but they, you know, I'm still, you know, this doesn't help me because I'm having to deal with fights. My rotators are already being fought. I can't, like, stop them. I'm getting overwhelmed. You know, and my chances of getting a kill are, do I win this fight versus the deagle? Now I'm praying.
No,
You know,
I agree. And also the smoke lasts longer than a molly.
I would say smoke is still much better. If you only have a molly, what are you doing? Sell them.
Especially when I have an op, I tend to not buy mollies on CT. I buy 2 flashes instead. Because with 2 flashes, I have 2 chances to set up my rifling teammates for aggressive fights that I can't go for because I have a fucking huge green sniper. Like, I have a gun meant for long-range fights. So I like to have more utility that helps me set up my close-range teammates. Or teammates with close-range weapons. Or closer-range weapons.
Molly by smoke. You know, like, that's kind of where I'm at with that. So, yeah, they deal the same damage. Yes, they deal the same damage, but again, if you're CT molly, like, let's say this is the choke point I want to cover, I might only tick in this 4 times, right? So what is that, like 30 or 24 damage or something like this, 32 damage? And then on T side, you know, the molly might be bigger, so I have to run through it for longer, but the mollies do 8 damage, right? So if we saw a CT molly does 8 damage, we run through this, and these also do 8 damage, right? But I ticked 1 extra tick in this, so that is 40 damage instead of 32. Typically, how we want to think about it, right? Okay, so last but not least, because this is becoming a long-winded yap that nobody cares about, for T side, you know, coming B main, like, what's the timing that we're worried about here? You know, it's a little different because the CT side is you jump down here, right? And, you know, maybe he's opping, right? Maybe he's here, and maybe you're playing against something like this. Maybe, you know, you have the CT, this is not the lineup, sorry, gang. Maybe the CT is throwing this smoke, right? What is this smoke? This smoke is very useful because it lets the CTs do silly things, like they can come around here, they can play in checkers, they can cross to the back of checkers.
What the hell is that? Hold on, that's from heaven.
Throwing smoke.
Just like that? I feel like that's a bit too far. Wait, his bloom closer.
Jump down, have the CT, this is not the lineup, sorry, gang. Right. Maybe he's here, and maybe you're playing against something like this. Maybe, you know, you have the CT, this is not the lineup, sorry, gang.
The hell?
Throwing smoke.
I'm waiting too long. Okay, so I need to throw it, like, right as I come out. Pretty much immediately. Like that. Yeah. Yeah, and then I can, like, get into here. But then this is a problem, because they can go in this corner and they'll see me. So it's actually not that great. Maybe if I throw it lower. Oh, that might be better. Oh, that's so much better. Okay, I need to aim lower. That was my problem initially. Okay. So you come up here. Boom. Yeah. Okay, this is not that good, though, because this is a bit too close. But yeah, you absolutely can play, like... I don't know. I personally am not a fan of playing in this corner because it's so predictable, I feel. But just playing somewhere around checkers, in general, I think it's a good idea. And then you just need to win the fight. Yeah, like, this is so much better. Like, especially watching it kind of from here. Also because you're closer to the other side of B main here, so you can hear footsteps and stuff, which, even if, like, they don't try to come through the smoke, you'll still get info if there is someone there, most likely. Because, I mean, unless they're just fully shifting behind the smoke, then, yeah, it's different.
Maybe the CT is throwing this smoke, right? What is this smoke? This checkers and hide. Really useful because it lets the CTs do silly things, like they can come around here, they can play in checkers, they can cross to the back of checkers and hide. They can just play in checkers. They can also boost up a teammate into the vent, which is really strong, especially if the vent isn't broken. You know, and we stay up here. Now, you know, if you go for something late mid or you boost a teammate, there could just be a random guy that peeks from inside the vent, right? There could be. Like, that's something that is really strong for the CTs. And you can only do this if this smoke is done, right? Because otherwise, what happens? Well, on T side, you know, maybe we jump across, we take the risk on the op, and now, if we don't throw that smoke, I'll always know if you try to go for the vent. I will always know, and then that's something that's really important for us late rounds, right? So I'd say, you know, typically, as a B player, you should be throwing this. Sometimes don't throw this, even, you know, because you might have an op here, right? You don't want to throw the smoke if your opera's here, because then your opera doesn't have an early fight, and now they're close, and this is hard, right? This is hard for them, right? So that's something that I want you to think about is like, see where your opera is going. Is my opera here? Yes? Okay, I don't want to throw the smoke, right? Now, what's the problem with that? If I only don't throw the smoke when the opera's here, then what happens, right? Then eventually the person you're playing against will go, no smoke, must be an opera here, right? So...
Not in comp. No one's going to realize that in comp.
That's something that you have to be careful about, right? Something you have to be careful about is not selling your teammates,
But,
right? So,
but he is
don't throw the
right.
smoke because I'm here. Okay, so also that means sometimes we don't throw the smoke even when the opera's not here, right? So what's our backup plan then? That's what you need to think about. If I am not going to have a smoke, like what do I want to do? Maybe I come up here and I look for somebody to be pushing early, with my...
I wonder if it's possible to... I don't know if this is a good idea. Could you fake that by buying a scout? Because they make the same zoom in noise, correct? I wonder if you could fake that out. But that's like... I don't think anyone's going to bother with that in... Because I feel like the T's would only hear that either if they're already close B main or if they're in sunroom. So I feel like that's not worth it.
Maybe I'm up here making sure nobody pushes. Maybe I'm just gonna, do something different. Maybe I'm gonna flash. Maybe I'm gonna start by throwing a molly for anti-rush. These are things you can think about, right? Because you can actually molly the full entrance of B main, right? Like now I'm thinking, oh, okay, I'm starting the round. I come up here, I hear rush, rush, rush. Okay, I throw molly, and now I just come back to the site and we play, right? This molly does hit everything. It doesn't do full damage, but it slows them down. I have a very I don't want to do this jump up and come around, and also I'm ticking, and I'm coming into sight. Like that's different, right? Because then we can actually throw the molly. Right. So again, this is something that you can think about. We come up here, maybe we drop, we just take a risk. And this is also something that I want you to think about when you're playing is taking risk. It's okay to sometimes do something that is maybe going to get you killed sometimes, right? Right? So something we've talked about a ton. We talked about this a ton. Okay, let's say this, okay? I have the best spawn, right? I have the best spawn. I'm running towards B. What if I, instead of throwing the smoke, and my opera's not coming here, what if instead of doing either of these, I just drop down and I just play here, right? This is objectively a risky choice. You can't get away with this always. If they're rushing you, you will die, right? You will get stuck and you will need help. But sometimes these plays can be very strong. These can be round-winning plays because if you get to here without giving any info, right? You didn't throw a smoke, you didn't throw molly. Now I'm here. Now because I'm closer than they expect, you hear somebody running right from here, or like you hear somebody like dropping nades or something. You can hear things that you're not supposed to be able to hear because they don't expect you to. Maybe there is somebody that is here. He just got here late. He has no idea. Maybe because now he doesn't know you crossed. He goes, guys, like we should just contact B. But we'll look at where you could be. I'm here now, or I'm here. Like, and if they come B, I got 1, 2, maybe a surprise third. But at the most, I'm hearing them set these things up. I'm hearing them plan this like this zigzag. Or on the flip side, you get close, you hear somebody walk away, and you take these fights. I'm on a flank, guys, they're going A, right? These are the kind of plays that you can make, especially as a B player, because, it is the part of the map that it tends to get forgot about. Like, on T side, they either come early B or they don't come at all, right? And so that's something that you should be keeping an eye out for. And that also works for A, that also works for mid, right? Like sometimes, like I told you, you can just come up and you can go for the dry fight. If there's nobody here, now we're on our fast play. We're walking up. Maybe we hear them boosting. We know that there's somebody here, right? This is the kind of stuff that we can do. Like we catch somebody boosting, right? And now we back up. Those are the kind of things that you can think about, right? But at face value, that's pretty much everything that you need to worry about in the beginning of the rounds. Like there are some things that I would say that are worth noting. Secretly, I don't want to tell you this, but I actually want to show you something that I feel like is probably, once I kind of show this off, I know what's going to happen. Like, all hell breaks loose after I show you this, but I'm going to share it with you anyway. This is a cool trick that I found. Maybe people already know, but, Yeah, so, like, something that happened after the Enemy Graph 2 update, which is intentional, is you can kind of hide a lot better than before. So, let me show you something, right? Somebody hiding here, we can see him, right? Like, he's not very hidden. This is not a good spot. Well, sometimes these spots can be really strong. If you look straight down, you actually just can't see them. So remember how visible that guy was a second ago?
Oh my god.
He's really hard to see now. And also, you're probably not going to check this. Now, I've already tried this a couple of times in games, right? So what you can do is, like, if with a gun especially, you are very hidden, right? Like, I'm not going to say you're invisible because obviously, but with a gun out, I mean, it's pretty good, dude. Like, you're probably not checking this, right? You don't see anyone, you even give it one of these, don't see anyone, okay, now we're going. And just to kind of like explain how insane this is, like this works at a lot of spots. Like even, something like this, like a spot that doesn't look like you could do this at, you can do this at. Like, I mean,
this has always been possible at this barrel. This was possible in CSGO as well.
This is kind of ridiculous. Like, I don't know, maybe I am like kind of over exaggerating how cool it is, but I don't know, man. Like, I think some of these spots are kind of insane, and I encourage you to try them out. Like maybe on an eco round or something, maybe you grab a 5-7 and you hear them coming and you just head down. You might catch somebody walking past you, like going this way, right? Maybe, maybe. I don't know. Is this the end of the video? No, we're just yapping because I needed to warm up my voice for the Guide to Solo Queue series because I'm like very congested today, so I can't talk very well, but I think we've done successfully at warming it up. So I'm ready to start the Guide to Solo Queue series. With that being said, if you're watching this video on the Morrison channel and you...
Alright, cool. Alright, let's watch this one. Your CT side cache sucks. Here's how to fix it.
You only knew it was a matter of time. We're so back. Why you suck at CT side cache? Let's get into it. Let's go through it. We'll be going through every single different setup you could be doing on the CT side. T side will be coming later. Don't you worry. So there's a couple different ways you could play CT side cache. Let's just go with like the most common one. Like if you're just playing with a bunch of randoms, what I would suggest you doing, I would try to have one player inside A, 2 players mid, with a guy kind of playing highway towards A, kind of supporting.
I set that. I
and
said
then
that.
2 dedicated players B. If you get really fancy and you get really comfortable on this map, you could do things like a 1-3-1, where you kind of have 3 players that start mid, and then the guy breaks off the highway. You have your mid player still, and then the other guy goes vent and is kind of in a supportive element for the B player through mid. Hey, what's up, guys? Gonna take you away from the video here real fast to talk.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
You're looking better.
Flom,
so if any of the
bro. By the way, Flom was like the worst at doing fucking sponsored segments. Listen to his intro for this, right? Like I love Flom, but just listen to his intro for this.
kind of in a supportive element for the
Listen.
mid. Hey, what's up, guys? Gonna take you away from the video here real fast to talk to you about today's sponsor, CS Money.
Holy bro, I don't know why it triggers me so much when YouTubers are like, "Okay, guys, I need you to take it from not like that, not like." I think I just broke my tongue. The fuck was that? No, not like that. But when YouTubers are like, "Alright, guys, real quick, I need you to take away from the video real fast to talk to you about today's really quick sponsor," like, bro, get to the point. I hate when people do that. It's so annoying.
Let's send you back into the video and I'll stop yapping. Let's start with A main, because A main is incredibly unique, but also you're in your own little world.
When you're doing a sponsored segment in the middle of a video, you need to use as few words as you possibly can while still getting the message across. And a lot of people are not good at that.
But what's unique about A is you really need to be confident in being aggressive. So yeah, you're on an island, you're playing the A bomb site, but in reality, when your team is losing parts of the map, you're kind of the first piece to make moves. The T's take middle, or the T's pressure B main and say they get a guy into checkers. The most common way is to retake A main back. This is kind of like that tug of war push-pull that's happening across the map on CT side cache. The A anchor, it starts with you, and you're always kind of the most mobile player in terms of an anchor. So like most standard rounds, you could just start by coming up to the truck and just like throwing a smoke at the top of here. And this is just a good starter smoke, obviously, if they rush you, that kind of thing. It prevents them from overwhelming you, and they actually have to use utility to get into the site. And a good thing to do at the start is, just like some of the other maps like I've told you with like the audio cues, is coming forklift at the start is really powerful after you throw that smoke, because you can hear how many people enter A main, you can hear footsteps coming into A main. If you get there a little bit late or you had a bad spawn out of CT, throwing that smoke and then being kind of quiet inside is never a bad thing. Fence is a really good position, quad's really good, but really you want to kind of make sure you're communicating as much as you can with the player that's closest to you. Usually you should be highway, and making sure that you're really making the players come out of A main before you fight them. The biggest mistake you can make as an A anchor is taking a duel into A main, especially if you don't have an op. If you have an op, feel free to do that. Channel your inner ROPs, make them not have a good time coming to your bomb site, don't smoke it, and use an op, maybe a quad. But if you're rifling, which is, you know, what you're gonna have most of the time, just you should be aware of where your teammate is. So if you're on fence, don't peek into A main, hold the angle for when the players come out first to forklift.
Oh, he plays on top of the fence in that corner. I did not even know you can get up on that. Because what I used to do is I would literally just tug in like this when I'm like solo A. When it's like, I don't know, 4v3 or something. I would just like tug in like this. Maybe I would play like something like this so I can catch them crossing to quad. But apparently, what he's saying... Oh, it's this thing. Okay, that's not as big as I thought it would be. What if I do this? This would be a hell of an angle. Because this would not get pre-fired as quickly. Yeah, I might just do this. That's actually not bad. Where's my rifle? But this is also... I fuck with this a lot, actually.
Far where your teammate is. So if you're on fence, don't peek into A main. Hold the angle for when the players come out first to forklift. If your teammate's kind of far from you, maybe being in fence is a bad idea, because they're gonna molly you and shit like that. And even quad can be weak, because if they have utility and you're completely solo and isolated, they can really give you a hard time. Where most teams, what they'll end up doing before they hit your site is they'll throw the smoke, which is really good for them, but it can be incredibly helpful for you as well to kind of duck in and out of the site. So you don't always need to be fence or quad. Those are great positions when you have a teammate and when they're trying to execute on the site. But if you're solo, being towards the back of red and back of sight is really good. And when they throw this smoke, it can allow you to isolate different fights this way. You can hide inside the smoke and ask for people to flash. Granted, they'll probably miss it and somehow blind you and do nothing, but the idea is good. So when the smoke is out and you hear an elephant stampede coming towards site, instead of trying to meet them all head on and get a 6 raid on, what you can do is usually one little Timmy goes over to forklift and you can try to isolate your fight with them, take the fight on your terms, and then re-clear this area, give them the site.
I remember seeing a highlight in CSGO of someone doing this, and it was the sickest thing I ever saw.
But you maintain this forklift area. This is a super, super strong thing to do, and I would highly recommend getting comfortable doing that. Moving around, taking back forklift, and then pinning them in the site. 3 players push the site because they have to respect quad, fence, default, back of red, and meanwhile, you isolated a duel, took over forklift, and you've now kind of trapped them in there. Now, I said that you should get comfortable pushing A main. What does that look like? It all kind of starts with this A main smoke. So when you throw this A main smoke, you have a couple options. If you're solo and you got huge cojones and you want to just get aggressive, this is El Clasico. You come in here, you go up here, and then you can jump up on the box and try to catch somebody off. Or you can play on the bottom of it and wait for some guy to walk through, right? You can do a bunch of different things. Getting comfortable around the smoke is going to be your bread and butter, and yes, I made a food reference. What are you going to do about it? If you play with the duo, this is also great to learn and have him set you up and that kind of thing. What you do is you come into the back of sight here.
I love
you just
Flom, bro.
Right at the top of red. This is it. Boom, pop flash. This is a great flash for A main.
What?
You perfectly set your teammate up inside A main. If you play with the duo, this is also great to learn and have him set you up and that kind of thing. What you do is you come into the back of sight here and you just aim right at the top.
Oh. What, it's just like this?
Throwing flashbang.
Hold on. Yeah, let's aim and aim in. That's the wrong button. God damn. Yeah, I don't think I would have enough time to turn away from that. Because you barely see the flash. Also, because in-game, you're not going to see that giant fucking projectile thing. This is a... Wow. That's really useful. Okay. We're slowly learning stuff. So we have this smoke. Right? Did not bloom the way I wanted it to for some reason. Eh. Why is it not doing the thing it's supposed to be doing? This is what it's supposed to be doing, yeah. Weird. Anyway. So you throw that smoke. You can flash someone through. Boom. And then you can go kind of like help mid or something. Dope. Why do I keep getting stuck on the door? I would love to go for like an off peek in Squeaky. I think that'd be really strong. Or an M-main, but an M-main, that's a bad idea. You would need the flash to pull that off. Which is why I'm not gonna be able to do it myself, because I need someone else to do the flash, and there's no way anyone else that I queue into is gonna know what this flash is or that it exists.
Top of red. This is it. Boom, pop flash. This is a great flash for A main. You perfectly set your teammate up inside A main, and they can take control of it. And this allows them to maybe sneak into lockers if they don't see anybody. But if you get control of this, it allows your team to lean towards mid, lean towards B. And even if you end up just getting 1-for-1 here, you're an early warning system for your team if they decide to come back A later in the round. Some more fringe type scenarios, like if you want to get weird with door, is one, if you're the A player and they open the door, tell your highway player, because he might not hear it. There's a lot going on. You don't want him to walk back, and a lot of people will look for picks there, especially as people get more comfortable with cash. You will have a dedicated door guy who's just like, that's where I go. One, whenever the door is open, for the love of God, communicate that the door is open. Two, something that's really good, and this goes back to the double, you can do this with op as well, as if you have an op, you can go in A main, have your teammate smoke for you in A main, and then you post here. And another thing you can do, and my teammate actually just called this in my Pug to Down cash. We call it like, it's like a Joker style play. So you have one guy go through door instantly, and he just pushes. You're just looking to catch anybody off guard, but then you'll have actually another guy trailing behind him. You're not crossfiring, you're not playing together. You are both independently playing Counter-Strike from one another, and the idea is you either catch a timing with the first guy, and he gets all this info, right? Coming through, maybe catches guy in main, whatever. Or if he dies and they see him, who the f pushes the second guy? That's kind of like your crash course. Yeah, let's get...
Actually, I love that. I love that idea. I've been wanting to do this on other maps as well, in other areas of other maps, but on Face It, no one would go for this, because people would be like, bro, play together, why you want to bait, you fucking bot. But what he explains there, I would really love doing that. Because, truthfully, when the hell would you expect two people inside of, you know, fucking Squeaky? Yeah, I like that, actually.
Get into really the most important position, which is mid. You're kind of always at a duo at the very least. So first spawn, I would recommend you come here, you smoke mid. Every round, somebody's got to smoke mid. Do it with the first spawn. There's a couple that you could throw out of CT spawn. If you really don't want to go out of mid, out of azpectCS, he's got a couple lineups from CT spawn that you could throw that's pretty quick. You shouldn't need it. You should come mid, you should start mid like this, smoke there, jump to the middle of what used to be sandbags, and just aim at this corner. That's it. So
It is
middle
still
of the sandbag
sandbags.
and aim at this corner. This is a great start. You smoked out the middle of what used to be sandbags, and just aim at this corner. That's it.
Okay, hold on. So middle of this, and then there?
Incendiary out.
Oh! Nice. Can you combine that? Wait, where the fuck am I? Just out of curiosity. Could you combine this with a nade?
Grenade.
No. I wonder if... Hold on. What if you just alter the lineup? Oh, you know what? You totally can. You totally can.
Throwing a grenade.
But it would probably have to be further than that, wouldn't it?
Grenade out. Grenade out.
like that, yeah. Oh, that one's actually good. Any chance I can mimic that? No, because you need to run forward for it. Fuck. Yeah, so that's just really inconsistent. Fuck. Okay, that's not worth it then. This is a good molly, though. It really does look like it's just not gonna hit, and then it hits every time. Like, when you look at the trajectory... I fucked it up because I'm a dumbass. I fucked it up again. I'm still a dumbass. Why am I fucking it up? There we go. Because I'm too far to the left. It looks like it's gonna, like, explode in midair and not hit anything, but then it does.
So middle of the sandbag and aim at this corner. This is a great start. You've smoked off mid, you've mollied the boost, you've really cut down on a lot of their options are. What you can also do after that is you can also push mid. So something that I like to do if I have a good spawn is I actually like to smoke then nade. I know that seems a little counterintuitive, but a lot of people like to instantly go out mid, and that HE is a great way to punish. Now, communicate that with your teammates, because the break, obviously, if you break the smoke, if your teammates cross on highway, he might not be ready for that, and you get him killed. If they come out mid fast on you, and they're out on the ground, or they're over the boost, and they take mid in the first 15 seconds, your team is going to have such a hard time of playing cash. So that's really where you want to start and how you want to play things. If you have a good spawn, and your other teammate wants to come out mid as well, or if you're the second mid player, coming out the highway is really good. If little Timmy starts getting brave and running through a smoke because Z is smoked and they throw some flashes over, this is where it's your time to shine as the highway player, really trying to punish little Timmy being a little prick and coming through the mid smoke early. Drop a nade on boost. You don't need a set lineup. If you want to create one, good for you. You're an overachiever. But drop a nade on boost. You can re-smoke mid. Maintaining this area is just super strong.
Oh, okay. That's actually fair. Because what that would allow it to do is, because the mid player already, or like the window player, is already smoking mid and mollying the boost. So then you would, after this, you would have your white box player do like this, basically. Or something. I don't know how he did it.
Player really trying to punish little Timmy being a little prick and coming through the mid smoke early. Drop a nade on boost. You don't need a set lineup. If you want to create one, good. Trying to punish little Timmy being a little prick and coming through the mid smoke early. Drop a.
Oh, he like extends all the way out. Yeah. So he does it from like here.
Throwing a grenade.
Yeah. Okay. So you can just like communicate to your highway player. Just like throw that nade. You do have a risk of getting spammed through the smoke though, but yeah, that's like the only thing. But that does make sense, because then like you're not just dumping your entire util set as the mid player, because that would suck.
A nade on boost. You don't need a set lineup. If you want to create one, good for you. You're an overachiever. But drop a nade on boost. You can re-smoke mid. Maintaining this area is just super strong. Gives you fast rotations to A. Remember, you have access to vent as well. So if one of your teammates can and is comfortable getting close mid, that's also incredibly powerful, because just the vent position as a whole. If you're inside vent, you're helping mid. You're able to get quick to B. If your teammate needs to rotate to A, you still have eyes on middle, and you can get out of trouble quickly. So getting close mid is really strong. It will take some reps to get used to. People are going to not like you being there, and they will throw a lot of nades. So being comfortable, calm, and collected in this area is what I like to do personally. So if you catch my stream and I'm on cash, like, watch that, because I think I do a pretty okay job sometimes. Just like this idea of like sometimes playing the cubby, sometimes playing underneath boost. If the smoke bleeds out a little, some really ratty things you can do is play on the side of the smoke, wait for them to come out, then take your fight. There's little nuances like this that you're gonna get a feel for it once you play it. You just kind of need to be there, and me trying to go through every single scenario is kind of useless. I wouldn't recommend taking too many fights from sandbag unless you're super confident. Ideally, you want to let them down and like try to crossfire with your teammate, or even fully rat and bait out your teammate. They made this position a lot harder to molly in this version, and I think that's intentional. If you're playing in some lower ranks, man.
Did they? Hold on. I have to wait. I used the wrong molly. There we go. That is the correct one. Couldn't you just... Hold on. Блять. I mean, yeah, but then you're like all the way out. Yeah, okay, that's fair. What if you're, hold on. What if you just do it from here? Oh, you actually just straight up cannot do that. Yeah, because it doesn't go far enough. I mean, you can, but like, here's the thing. If someone smokes this, right? We got the smoke there. And then... I also can't see shit. mean, you can molly it, I guess. But, like, how often would someone play there?
One, these guys probably don't have a molly. Two, they don't know they should back unless you're super confident. Ideally, you want to let them down and like try to crossfire with your teammate, or even fully rat and bait out your teammate. They made this position a lot harder to molly in this version, and I think that's intentional. If you're playing in some lower ranks, man, one, these guys probably don't have a molly. Two, they don't know they should molly sandbags. Three, if they did, they can't hit it, so don't worry about it. That really is it for mid. If you're the highway guy, you're the bridge between mid and A. If you're A player saying, holy shit, they're coming out and that little forklift smoke is there, best thing you can do, you're the absolute GOAT highway player. I'm flashing front red. Cannot tell you how sick this is, because what this is going to do is when this smoke is down and your teammate's in trouble and they're rushing A, and you just say, I'm flashing front red, they don't see it, man. They don't see the flash. You blind everybody coming out, and if you communicate it well to your teammate, hopefully he doesn't get blind, but it should get him a lot of kills. And worst case scenario, what you can do is do things like this, drop that flash, maybe turn, slow walk up because you can't do the ladder tech anymore, Valve hates us, and then you get people trying to go into bomb site on your teammate, and your flash either slowed them down or got them stuck right here, where they still have to respect clearing sight, but now you have their backs to you, and you kind of have almost like a crossfire in a way based on timing on people crossing into sight. So short version, if you're the highway guy, have a flash. If you're giving mid, that's okay. Tell your highway player, if you're comfortable when they take mid, you can play back from toxic barrels here and spot mid, and the Z player who didn't come out mid because he's a giant weenie or for whatever reason, can start passively rotating. He could go heaven, he could go back to truck. You have really good rotations on this map as a CT. Use them and communicate and yap it up. Now, if you don't communicate, you're just in my games too, so don't worry, we're all just in those games together. It's fine. Now, the B players. Everybody hates you. Remember when I talked about this on Nuke Ramp? This is the same energy. So let's just talk about you, B players, because I hate you. If you're the first spawn, kind of like mid, you know, the first guy smokes mid, mollies the boost. The first B player, if you have a really good spawn, I'd highly recommend getting comfortable doing this. You come out heaven, you just bounce the smoke here, and you jump into checkers and you fucking hide. You don't widespread, you fucking hide, like the rat that you are. Why? Because this is smoked off. If they want to come through, they're gonna make a bunch of noise. Little Timmy doesn't know how to jump on the box when he f***s up his movement, then you peek and kill him. Or at least let the smoke fully plume before you start getting crazy, you know what I mean? You could get close to B main box, although careful, if you do this, your teammate's just going to bait you and he has no idea what to do unless he watches video and actually understands how to play the game. In reality, play here and then encourage your teammate who doesn't listen to you to just like peek sight. Just say peek sight. They're not going to understand what you're saying anyway, so if you just say something like that, they're, you know, they understand a peek. So if they peek and they don't get smoked off, this is perfect for you because they'll get contact and this is where you can start to clean up on different fights as well. Really strong opener. The longer you hold checkers, the less they can really pressure the B bomb site any meaningful way. If you can get a player inside checkers every round at B, it's so much easier to hold this bomb site. Now, if you're the second B player, you're the absolute GOAT of the B players. We still hate you. What you do is you usually want to just like start around headshot. And there's going to be somebody that comes out with the YouTube short on how to perfectly flash this, but for now, you can understand the principle and you can see how to do it, and it still works. So your other guy's really smart. He watches my YouTube video, he likes, comments, subscribes, and he goes into checkers. Now you're a headshot, and you're gonna be chilling here, and you can hold for contact, which is fantastic. AD, we're not in CSGO anymore. I don't want to hear crying about holding angles. Like, people know how to pre-aim a little bit now. They've gotten better at the game. AD on the angle. If you think they're coming up, or if your teammate says, I hear them B main, don't peek anymore. Come right here, pull out a flash, and just bounce one off the wall. Trust me, they're not good. They're going to eat this flash even without you having a set flash. And if you communicate that once again with your checkers teammate, boom. You're locked in. You're absolutely frying them.
Let me try that. Here. So you basically just kind of play like this, right? And then you would just... That's good. Could I also... Hold on. Just out of pure curiosity here. Morbid curiosity, I believe is what we call it. How much does that blind? Oh, that's pretty good. Okay, well, he doesn't blind anyone sitting in this corner, but... Yeah, you would have to be careful for the trade. That's, like, one of the biggest things.
You're having a great time. Now, if you're solo on the B bomb site, all of your teammates hate you, nobody comes and helps you, a couple things you could do. One, play checkers if you have a really good spawn like I just showed you, or hide in sight like a little weenie, and what you could do is like sometimes you can like jump spot like this. Don't do that too much, they'll hear you and eventually they'll do some shit. But just be kind of like a little rat, like looking for info, and when it gets really, really dicey, just drop a smoke in the middle of the site. This is so annoying for them to deal with, because if little Timmy doesn't know how to smoke off CT, they are now forced to push through this smoke to fight you. Why? Because your teammates can sit here and hold the cross, or like this, hold your headshot. If they don't have proper utility, which at the very least you should try to force out of them, they have to go through the smoke or headshot, and it's so much easier to hold because of that. If you're like a rotator for whatever reason, for the love of God, guys, just call it, communicate, flash through heaven for your B players. Oh God, flash through, I hope that hits. They're blind. This one especially is super sick because if you flash through heaven, you can peek with it. So when you're sitting here and you're saying flash through heaven, you're not blinding your teammate, but simultaneously anybody trying to push your teammate is just eating a flash. It's really, really, really powerful. Please know to do that if you're a mid player. If you're a mid player and you don't throw that, you're an awful human being and you should feel bad. Back to the B bomb site players. So ideally, if you can, smoke off B main like this, keep them out of this area, and that way they have to use a lot of utility to take it back. If they do start to take it back, try to pop flash or set them up, or have some sort of crossfire and headshot for when they eventually try to go into checker. You really want to force them to make a decision here. This is like the kill zone. This is where you want to maul everybody at. If they get past this, or if they start getting util and you don't have anyone checkers and they only have to focus on the site, it's a really hard bomb site to hold. I can't stress enough how hard that shit is to do. Because then one guy watched the azpectCS nade video, he smoked CT and mollies you headshot and you hate your life. So like, ideally you want to get the crossfire started here, and you want to have this smoke down and B main. And like I said, you can start the round by just like running, throwing it off the wall next to the pipe here. Or if you're really nervous about it, you can just like go like this and throw it off the back wall, and it'll do the same thing. It's fine. If you op B and your teammate starts to be with you, or even if he's in vent and he just like has to hop out of mid for whatever reason, something that's really good to do if you know they never crossed into sunroom is just walk the op, man. Walk the op, respect the T-spawn player that thinks he's like Rops and he's really just ass at the game, and just walk all the way here. You're literally a babysitter. Like, you just get here, and then once you get set up here, have your other guy rotate off. You now just control like half the map, and you're the absolute best player to play the game. Real quick, we'll brush up on this one last time here. If for whatever reason you're a filthy 5-stack and you're watching this video, let's get into it. So 1-3-1, you are absolute rats. Okay, this is like think of this as like the bonus in my video. Something that's really good to do is put ops on both bomb sites and then start triple mid with rifles. You do the same thing. One guy comes out mid, smokes mid, mollies the boost, and then you for sure need to get a guy in vent. That's key to this setup. So you get a guy in vent. The highway guy breaks the vent for him, so your sneaky beaky doesn't hear you up close. The other rifler is towards highway or still close mid, probably highway, and then another rifler is either sandbags or is rotate Z. This is the demon setup. You put the other op somewhere at A, usually the quad, you know, and if your opper at B has a good spawn, he can, instead of smoking, you drop a flash, and then you just come down and you post on anybody crossing. If you have a really good spawn, don't even need the flash. Just post on anybody crossing. If you get in trouble, what you do then, you pray to God that your rifle teammate got the vent, and if they rush you B, your vent teammate helps you. You can even try to jump back here and just survive. Then your mid player from Z rotates back around, right? That other rifle, and then he's going to get into heaven. And next thing you know, there's actually 3 on this bomb site. This is something that I would never really recommend anybody doing outside of a 5-stack, or if you're higher up elo, like you could get away with this if people kind of know what they're doing. This is like a very old school setup because double ops used to be, you know, king. They're not as much anymore, and you can still play this setup with rifles a little bit, but this is kind of the idea. Is like you play 3 in mid with like the operas on the extremities. Just allows your team to basically fast rotate to any site and have 3 players there almost instantly. It was nice to do one of these videos again. It's been a little while. Valve doesn't update the map pool enough. If you guys did enjoy the video, please don't forget to leave a like. Don't forget to comment, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. You guys are absolutely beautiful. I'll be working on a T side. I'm not going to bait you guys into telling you guys, you know, put in the comments what map next. It's fucking T side cash. Any ideas in the comments?
All right, cool. Let's
Cash
go
has
for the
finally made
nades.
its return to Counter-Strike 2, and so in today's video time, and I'll start with the most iconic smoke on Cash, throw immediately from spawn, so that way you can rush mid or put some pressure. The way you're going to white lines is you're going to run along the 3rd white line. That is 1, 2, 3 white lines right out of spawn, and you're going to put your crosshair in this back. And if you do it right, the smoke will flash mid. Very strong smoke, and you should be throwing not be teammate anymore. Mid, I'd like to show you how to throw the crisscross smokes. Now, they are called the crisscross smokes for a reason, and it's because you throw them with your teammate and you crisscross them. So for the first one, we're going to start on the right side here. You're going to line up and put your crosshair on this part of the roof here. Now, it's normally just above this left panel. That's how you can remember. And whenever you're ready, you're just going to left click throw. Now, your teammate or you with another smoke is going to do the same thing on the other side. You're going to find this specific above, and you'll get these crisscross smokes that will allow you to come out mid and maybe go in towards vent, or maybe you could pop the smoke and fight somebody white box. But this is very effective, especially if early in the round the CTs took control of bottom mid. Is very powerful in this version of Cash, as well as a smoke that lands on the back part of site. Now, both of these are thrown this part of the wall here where you boost onto Shroud, and you're just going to run and throw. Now, make sure you don't throw it too late, or you could get opped by somebody playing quad. And if you do it right, you'll have this cross smoke that forklift go a little bit safer, or if you're worried about missing it, just by getting into this corner and finding the part of the roof that sticks out and just left click throwing. Now, it is important to note that this smoke is not as strong because it doesn't land as deep, but it is still a decent alternative if you just want an intro to smoke that you can just go in and play Cash. You don't want to remember the lineups. This is a very back site. Now, this smoke is especially useful in CS2, especially when you pair it with the cross smoke, and it's very easy to throw. All you're going to do is you're going to find this part of the squeaky door next to the 4, and you're going to go to the left of this part that sticks out until your crosshair crosses this railing. So when you use the grenade crosshair, which we rarely use in nade videos, but we'll use it for this one, you can aim just like this to throw the smoke, and whenever you're ready, you just let it go with a left click, and you're going to get a smoke that lands over here. Now, again, when
the only other map that I've had to use the grenade crosser on is was Overpass, but that's gone now. Hello, Bloodstain.
Smoke, you actually have a very unique opportunity to potentially lurk into this part of the site. You could go through the smoke, and you can actually clear sight from back, or you can maybe come through with a flash. Now, the other reason the smoke is good is because it prevents breaks thrown from.
How would you get there though? Because surely if these smokes are down, where's the A side player gonna play? Is it gonna be quad, or is it gonna be peeking from A side? How the fuck would you get in there in the first place?
So if you try to break the cross smoke, you actually can't break both smokes. So you could still break it from highway, but that is a lot easier to deal with than somebody who's truck. So this does have a lot of value, and you need to know this one. Moving over towards the B site, before we talk about the actual site execute, we need to show you how to smoke off B main in case there's any pesky oppers. This is a very easy smoke. You just line up in the middle of this column here. You're going to find the top of this part of the window here, so just go all the way up to the roof, and you're just going to run throw after one step. That smoke is going to comfortably smoke off B main, and this is going to be a nice smoke, especially if you're playing versus an opper. Now, they have removed the ability to throw the Molotov off the wall that we used to throw in CSGO, so I recommend just throwing this flash. That should do good enough at dealing with anyone who could be checkers, and this is a great smoke to set up the B execute, which will show you the next nades that I'd like to share with you. And the first one is going to be the tree room smoke. The easy one is going to be thrown from right here. You're going to line up into this part of the wall. You mean
CT,
here,
right?
And you're just going to find this missing brick and go up to the
Thinking
middle of
EU
the
will call
top
that
of the next
CT.
one. And whenever you're ready,
My friend will
you're
be able to get the puppy on
jump
Tuesday.
throw. Again, a middle click
W.
is holding left and right click at the same time and then jump throwing. And when you do that, you're going to get a smoke that lands comfortably in tree room, and that is going to be very nice. But you could also pair this smoke with a nice Molotov for the back of sight by just doing the same smoke lineup, and then whenever you throw the smoke, you would immediately pull out your Molotov and aim at this second window right here at the part where they meet, and then just left click throw. This is going to give you a Molotov that's going to Molotov back sight and make it really uncomfortable for the T's. Now I have a molly for over here, but you're going to have to wait for it. And again, this is something that I highly recommend that you throw. You didn't have to wait long. I was just...
And the good thing about this as well is that the lineup that you throw this from, like, you're not visible to checkers or anything. So until you throw the fucking util, they don't even know you're there. Am I doing it right? It was this, right? Did I fuck it up? Is it this one? What the hell?
The use click is hold up into the top of the part of the wall here, and you're just going to find this missing brick and go up to the middle of the top of the next one, and whenever you're ready, you're going to middle click jump though. Again, a middle click is hold.
Okay, yeah, it is that one. So it's in the corner and then like this. Yeah, that is what it is. Okay. Cool. Yippee! I guess you could also ask someone to drop you a second smoke, and then you could do the other one.
It's comfortably in for the back of sight by just doing the same smoke lineup, and then whenever you throw the smoke, you would immediately pull out your Molotov and aim at this second window right here at the part where they meet, and then just left click throw. This is going to give you a Molotov that's going to Molotov back sight and make it really uncomfortable for the T's. Now I have a molly for over here, but you're going to have to wait for it.
What's funny though is that basically there's a reason for both sides to smoke this, like this area, right? So you have this lineup for the T side, right? Where was it again? Was it this? It was. So you can do that from the T side, and then on the CT side, where am I? On the CT side, you can do this one, like that. So I think we're gonna be seeing a load of this, where there's just two smokes there because both sides did it, especially in higher elo. I feel like we're gonna be seeing this a lot. It's gonna be so dumb. Playing around B is just gonna be an absolute fuckfest. I don't know how I feel about this map so far. I mean, I'm happy Cash is back. It's just with like the current metas of the game, I don't know if it's the right map for the pool. That's kind of my issue, because like Counter-Strike was played very differently when this was last in the active duty. And what? Oh, I've been on the server for an hour. And yeah, it's just like I don't know. I don't know if it's the right map for like the current meta.
And again, this site is going to be thrown from here. So here's how you're going to line up. You're going to find the part of the sidewalk here that meets this part, and you're just going to jump up into here. Super easy. It's very loose. When you're here to throw the Molotov, all you're going to do is find this part that's sticking out of the generator, and you're just going to jump throw. Now, this Molotov is going to Molotov all of back sight as well as headshot.
This would be a sick exec to do on like a 5-stack. You would genuinely feel like Promistralis if you did this. Like up here. I almost want to do this. Like with my team. Just to like get it down. Because you would have this. Right? You would have that molly. And then you would have this. And is it this? No, it's this. So this is mollied. This is mollied. Bro. Look at this exec. Imagine if you had a heaven smoke as well. Or like a molly for it or something.
But he's smoking off tree room and throwing the backside Molotov, and then you from back here would throw this Molotov, and then the God Flash, which is at the top of this window, and then you just left click throw these flashes while your team...
Whoa, 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 whoa. There's more. Hold on a minute. What God Flash is he talking about? Am I even on the right lineup? This is not a God Flash. Am I aiming at the wrong thing? I'm aiming too high. God damn it.
God Flash, which is at the top of this window, and then you just left click throw the...
Oh my god, I'm aiming at the complete wrong thing. I'm supposed to be aiming at this. I'm retarded. Okay, immediate question that I have, does this blind heaven? Because if it doesn't, it's useless. It does. Okay, good. What about, like... here? Okay, that's full blind. Cool. Nice. So that's actually a useful flash then. That is a good flash. Because if you throw it from back here, they can't hear it either. Which is what makes it so good. Imagine just spamming these. But now I have to experiment, like... yeah, that is a very W flash. I mean, I'm guessing if you're playing from checkers, this isn't gonna blind you. Like, let's say you're on this kind of angle. Yeah, that's not... okay, yeah. So checkers is still a vulnerable area. But I'm guessing anywhere else on site, you are going to get blinded. Let's say, like... I mean, you would never play here, but yeah. Yeah. What about CT? Let's say, like, over here. Yeah, okay. It still blinds you. That is crazy. What about if you're entering side on T side? Okay, yeah. I mean... back here, I don't think you would have to clear, right? Because that's what the molly is for. If you do, what was it? This? Oh, that's the headshot one. Fuck. It's this one. I got them mixed up. Yeah, so this molly's... ah, okay. So you would have to clear close. That is a problem, actually. Because they can play back here. You would have to clear this. And do they get blinded by the flash? Blat. I mean, I'm guessing because they're so close to, like, being under it, they don't get blinded by the God Flash either. Let's see. Oh, actually. If they look towards the back side, which they would never do, because why would they? They actually do get blinded. What about if they, like, peek out like this? Yeah, it's not... okay, yeah. So that is a position that you would have to, like, be mindful of. Would this spread? No. I'm trying to see if there's some kind of way to molly that. I don't think so. I think you would just have to fight that. Which, if you kill Heaven fast enough with the flash being thrown, right? So if you throw the God Flash, boom. And you're just like, keep flashing. Heaven is dead. This is mollied. Back there is mollied. So he would be either like here or something, or he would be back here. Because everything else would be mollied. That is great.
These flashes while your team is executing. Not sure if anyone's going to be ready to... any team is executing and scaling. Now this flash lands behind this pipe and will not blind any of your teammates and should blind everybody who's on the site as well as anybody who's in heaven. This flash is disgusting. It does not blind your teammates. So I highly recommend that you know these nades, and I'm not sure if anyone's going to be ready to handle this on day one of cash being out. Now I did mention in my last video that it is technically possible to smoke off heaven now with the window being a little bit more extended, and that is true. For now, the lineup that I found, it's very complicated, so I'll include it now, but in the future I'm sure they'll find a better one. You're going to line up on the right side of this dot like so. Then after you've done that, you're going to pull out the op, double scope, looking for this glitch texture. Then you're going to find this tiny little dot here. Whenever you find that in your scope,
fuck that.
Smoke, and you're going to
fuck that.
That's not a joke. This smoke is pixel perfect. It's going to bounce backwards and smoke off heaven. Now, are you going to throw that in a game? Of course not. But it is technically possible, and I'd like to
Yeah, I'm
encourage
not
you guys
fucking
to go
doing
find
that.
an easier, more consistent lineup, because this is the only one that I could find in my limited time to be able to test. But I
What if I just find one right now? Okay, so it would probably have to be from back here. That's what I'm thinking. Actually, no. It would have to be in front of this. But here you're exposed to checkers, so this is not a good lineup. Okay, up here? Let me just see the trajectory. Oh, wait. That's close. That's close. That's real close. I can do this. Maybe up here? No. Wait. I just almost did it. Oh! Wait. Hold. Too high. Okay, let's say you line up with this rusty pipe. More to the left. Bounces against the pipe if you do it any closer. Okay, so that's not an option either. So let's say here. Wow, that is a narrow-ass window. Holy fuck. And here it goes too far. Okay, yeah, wow. That actually just straight up might not be a lineup for this then. Yeah, because it's all too far to, like... maybe here? No. Fuck, man. That is hard. That is wild. And there's no way to, like, insta-smoke heaven or anything. No, because the... Well... Technically, you could try something... No, I don't think that would be possible. Nah. You would genuinely have to be, like, out here to do that. I don't think you can do, like, a proper heaven smoke. Which is interesting, because... It kind of means the game is forcing you to fight heaven, either with utility, kind of like this. Okay. So that... Yeah, that just makes the God Flash all the more important.
I did want to include it because I think it's funny, but it does open up the door of possibility, and I'd like to ask you guys to help me out because this is all I can do for now. Moving on to the CT essentials, we're going to start as the mid player. You need to know how to smoke off mid main, and the way I've been doing it is just by coming out connector, looking at the top of the rail, and just showing it as I come out the door. That's going to be the most consistent way to throw it on the run, and if you're fast enough and with a good spawn, you can pair it with a Molotov by getting stuck on the front of the railing here and aiming at the top part where the red meets the door here, just like so, and then jump throwing. If you do that, you actually do get a Molotov that will sometimes cover the boost as well as A main. It'll always cover the boost, but sometimes it'll spread down to A main. It doesn't in this example, but it doesn't always. And unique to CS2, you can actually throw this smoke a lot faster. So instead of having to have two mid players or even having a mid player at all, you could throw the mid smoke by lining up on the right part.
This is the one that Flom showed.
And then just finding where the railing meets the wall and jump throwing. It's a very loose lineup. That's all you have to do to throw the smoke. And as you can see, that smoke is going to land to smoke off full mid. So maybe you can have somebody who is just on Molotov duty, comes up and throws the molly and then jumps over to sandbags, which is now a fortress. This could be the way that you hold off mid, but again, the big takeaway is just throwing this smoke. It's very loose. You could even just come hug the wall and just find the railing. As soon as you can see it, you can just jump though. So try this one if you're a mid player, or if you're an opper, you could throw this to support your mid player. For our A players, we're going to want to smoke off A main, so you're just going to get stuck on the front of this truck, and we don't have the big symbol to line up with anymore, but you don't need it. Just aim anywhere on the top of the roof here, as long as you can see the entrance to A main. So again, very loose lineup. Let's just pick here for the example, and the smoke will land to smoke off A main. Very loose lineup. CS2 smokes are super forgiving, and this is the smoke to smoke off A main. That's really all you're going to need to know for this side of the map. Moving over towards the B site, you might want to smoke off the entrance to B main. I'm going to show you a few ways to do it. Starting with the running one, you can throw it off the wall as you're coming out of heaven, and this smoke will, of course, smoke off B main. That way you can drop, cross into checkers,
yeah,
maybe
we know
boost
this one.
a teammate up into the vent. A ton of different options that you'll have with this smoke.
We know this
and if you're
one.
worried that this way is too complicated, you can always step out on the far part of heaven and just throw it off of the ground. This is also an easy way to do it. It just doesn't land as fast, but it's still just as effective. And to be honest with you, I think that's going to wrap up all of the essentials gets added to the map pool. I will make an updated version of this with all the things that the pros.
That's cool. So that's pretty much all that they've got. Right. So let's do a little recap, shall we? I think the B nades are like the most important ones, right? So you have the God Flash from over here, right? Then you have the Molly from here as well. This one, the one for headshot, super useful. You have this spot over here, which has the Molly. Oh, sorry, it was down here. Yeah, the sight Molly and the CT smoke, like that, which is cool. There is the B main smoke back here, like this, to block off any AWPers, which, to be fair, an AWPer could beat the smoke. In theory, he could, like, walk out in front of it. I think he does have the timing for that, but that's, like, very... That's very, like, that gets very convoluted. The mid smoke from T-spawn is easy. It's literally just this. I don't know why I opened my buy menu. Yeah, that's easy. Oh yeah, there were those crisscross smokes, but I'm not gonna bother with them. There's also this. Not bad. This. Yeah, there's fucking... I actually think this one is useful to throw right before entering a site. Reason being, it cuts off your car supports, which could be like your AWPer supporting you or something like that. Or just from like somewhere around here. Like maybe it was your highway player and he has the AWP and he can like no longer support you from here. So it basically means if you do that, if you do this and this, that's not how you do it. Not how you throw this. This? Yeah. Pretty much if you do that combo, so boom and boom. There. You can now literally just entry. And boom. Because this entire part of the map is cut off. He can still hide in the smoke. Right? Don't get me wrong. He can still definitely be here in the smoke. But especially if you support this with, like, a flash. Like, well, that's not a good one. I don't know, just, I don't know, man. I don't know how you throw flashes in this game. Something like this. Or maybe you have, like, a teammate kind of, like, flashing... I don't know, flashing something. Fuck it, flash like this. Because there's going to be a smoke here, right? So, smoke here, Molly there, jump across, after the smoke is there, of course, and then boom, you just flash for your teammates. You need to be mindful of heaven, though. That is one thing. You definitely do need to be mindful of heaven. And also, obviously, the AWP can be here. Is there a good pop flash for this that you can throw? Just out of morbid curiosity. There probably is. Oh, yeah, you can definitely do that. With the middle mouse click, especially. This could work. You might hear that, though, but, let's see. It's pretty good. Doesn't full blind you, though, for some reason. This one full blinds you. The other one doesn't, for some reason. Is it too far away? That one full blinded me. Interesting. Maybe it needs to be a bit closer to the wall. So maybe if I... What if I line it up, like, back here? I kind of want the flash to be further away, too, so that people can peek in front of the flash. I think that makes more sense. Hold on, let me think, chat. This big one here... Surely I can come up with this. Boom. Is that good? That's great, actually. Did they change cache more recently, or is it just general cache stuff since rework? Okay, so I don't know how up to date you are with Cash, Moenki. So basically, Cash in CSU has two different versions. There's the version that's FM Pone made, which came out like a year and a half ago, right? It came out like early 2025. And then after that, Valve bought the rights to Cash and completely reworked it. So if you remember, when FM Pone first released Cash, it had like a bunch of LED lights and stuff in B main, which is like the biggest example that I like to use. All that stuff is not there anymore. That's like the old version of Cash. This is Valve's version, which uses like different textures and that kind of shit. The map is like the map layout is pretty much the exact same. I think it's just the graphics and optimization and stuff like that that's been reworked. I actually really like this flash that I found. Yeah, if you have this combo I was talking about, like this, and then flushing, boom. You probably could do that from this one came out a few months ago. Yes, it came out like 2 months ago or something like that. And then it got pretty much immediately put into the game as like a competitive map, and then now it's getting introduced to the active duty map pool at the end of this season. I kind of wished that this lineup was closer, though. Okay, this is not a good idea. What about this? Could I do this? Okay, yeah, I don't think you would be able to do this. Fuck, that means you would need 2 people in here. That kind of sucks. I mean, I guess you could still throw this smoke and then just, like, back off. You just wouldn't have the molly. So the guy entering would have to throw the forklift molly himself, and then you flash for him several times. You can just spam Q and both mouse buttons. That's literally all you do. And then he's gonna entry. So as the flashes are popping, clear that. Boom. Obviously, no one's gonna get blinded back here. For that, I guess you could, like, throw a support flash for him. Okay, that did not work. Whatever, man. You get the point. And then there's also this one, right? So for the CT site, there's the a main smoke, which is this. Doesn't really matter where you line it up. And then if you want to get aggressive, you just flash into it like this. Your A side player can push. You can leave. You can, if you like being a slutty little opera like me, peek squeaky. Apparently, if you have a good spawn, you can even do this. But I don't know how like the spawn timing for that works. Because if they rush squeaky, I think they'll beat you here. So I don't know how much you can really do that. But yeah. My biggest issue with this map is I need to figure out where to actually play with the op. So far, I'm playing, like, white box to help mid. And then I'm playing, like, car to help A. And that's pretty much it. And then this, for some reason, I whiff every time. It's so annoying. And then every time that I play quad with the op, I just get pre-fired. It's so annoying. So I'm gonna start playing back here from now on. I think that's a much smarter angle. Technically, it could jump spot forklift that way as well, but I don't know if that's a good idea. Mag. Alright. Let's change the settings back to the gaming setting. Whatever you want to call it. Let's go warm up. Boom. Alright, exit out. Man, my arm is sweating. Do you never play Highway? I mean, I haven't played the map in itself that much yet. I played a few games and I just can't really figure out, like, where I prefer playing. Oh, like, especially because this map is kind of similar to Nuke in that way, where the opper doesn't have a guaranteed position. You know how, like, on Inferno, for example, if you're an opper, you play long. At least in pugs, right? Like, in a team, obviously, you don't want to do that. But in pugs, if you have the op, you play long, or people are going to get mad at you. If you have the op on Mirage, you play window, or else people are going to get mad at you. I found that out the hard way recently. On Cash, it's kind of similar to Nuke, where it's like, You can play, like, on Nuke, you can play ramp with op, you can play heaven with op, you can play outside with op, right? Like, that's all fine. And I feel like Cash is kind of similar to that, because there's so many peaks you can go for with the op. I feel like just having an op on CT side alone, it makes the map CT side, just because it forces you to play a lot more passive on the T side. What the hell are my... You guys see that? Okay, ignore my spray. Look at how slow my fucking... Bro. My gun pull-out animation is so slow. You see that? The fuck are you doing? Suck it, bitch.
Dominating!
Wow, that was bad. Let's go up. Hey. That misses. That also misses. I'm washed. Bro, why is my pull-out animation so slow? I'm not, like, going crazy, right? I swear to God, it is slower. What is that guy doing? Unfortunate. The fuck are you doing? I miss? How the fuck did that miss? I don't know how the fuck the shot on the guy in the middle of the site missed, but okay. Do I need to, like, restart my game? Like, what is going on here? Counter-Strike slow motion. Bro! Are the hitboxes fucked too? Or am I just bad? I think I'm just bad. Bro's washed. Unlucky. Time to retire. Man, leave me alone. Okay. Holy shit. God damn. I am not used to this. Hey, in my defense, I am testing a new mousepad, okay? Leave me alone. I have an excuse. He actually outplayed me with that. Are you serious? Alright. I'm just gonna restart my game, because I'm pretty sure it's completely fucked. I don't know what is going on, but that... First of all, that pull-out animation should not be like that. I don't know what's going on with that. Counter-Strike slow motion, I guess. Are we surviving the heat? Luckily, it's getting colder tonight again. I'm not. Speaking of heat, though, I should get to the stories I wanted to tell that I completely forgot about. So, most of them are heat-related, because holy shit. So, the first one's not really a story. It's just, if you guys follow me on Twitter, which I hope you don't, because then that means you didn't see what happened yesterday. For some reason, right? Yesterday afternoon, I was just dying from the heat. I don't know what. Like, anytime I was outside, I was just like, "Ugh, I don't want this." Like, anytime I'm in my room, it's fine. But anytime I go outside, it is fucked. But yesterday, I had the great idea of, interacting with the Europe versus NA, or just Europe versus America, I guess, Twitter war. That's, like, never ending. Because, of course, every American in the world is currently tweeting about how we have AC and we don't suffer from the heat. Which is funny, because they suffer during the winter just as much as we do during the summer. But, hey, here we are, I guess. Anything to win an argument, am I right? That didn't hit. So yeah, I decided to indulge myself in that. Which was... Honestly, it was really funny. There were a couple of really funny fucking threads that came out of that. I'll show you guys a few in a bit. But yeah, it was... The funniest thing that I thought of the whole ordeal is the fact that apparently Americans have now started to call us Europors, which I think is hilarious, considering the euro is worth more than the American dollar. Just to put that out there, you know? So I don't know why we're, like... You're talking to the people who have the superior currency compared to you, and you're calling us poor. Explain the logic to me. I mean, I don't know why I'm asking to explain the logic. I know what the logic is. It's pure copium. The masculine need to feel superior in every possible scenario. I don't know why I'm stopping on these angles. Ooh! We're so conceited. You know what, Bromong? I don't even know what that word means, but I agree with you. Anything to dog on Americans. It's always a good... Okay. We got people just camping behind corners in this server. Okay, fuck you guys. Everyone's just camping behind corners here, I guess. Okay. How did that not... How was that not a kill?
Dominating!
I fell down by accident. Oh, blять. Okay, everyone in the server is just a demon. Oh, of course. Jungle's fucking beats me. Can I learn how to spray? It'd be really nice. Alright. AC is too cold anyways. I mean, you can literally adjust it, like... And that's the other thing. And I notice it's mostly the French people that do this. What is with the whole AC is bad for the environment thread? Like, listen. I understand the need to, like, try to make friends because, like, like, that is the reason a lot of people pretend to support the environment. I'm just gonna say that out loud. A lot of people pretend to care about the environment more because it's easier to make friends that way because a lot of people are genuinely that deluded that they think it's that important. And while it is important, it should never be a priority over basic male, or just basic human needs, I should say. Like, if you can do something that's better for the environment, good. But if it comes at the cost of you living less comfortable, that is where the line should be drawn, in my opinion. Because at the end of the day, humans are still the species that thrives on this planet the most. And I just walked into that guy's spray. Okay, I'm so not used to aiming on this fucking mouse pad. Holy shit. It's gonna take so much, like, readjusting to get used to this shit. Oh, damn. The fuck was that sound? Lol. Okay. But yeah, people that are saying like, oh, AC is bad for the environment, so I won't use it. Like, okay, have fun dying because of the heat. Like, those people I don't even think should be considered Europeans, because, like, respectfully, you're just fucking retarded. You would rather literally die than use a basic piece of technology which harms the environment just about as much as a petrol car or just any gasoline car, like, in general. Dominating! I am just body shot merchant with this fucking mouse pad, aren't I? Spree. What if I do this? Okay, this is worse. I repositioned my mouse pad. This is significantly worse. I'm not doing that. But yeah, that was my opinion on it. And then, yesterday, right? Yesterday, I finished all my shit. And I finished quite late. Everyone was already, like, asleep in my house. So I wanted some food, right? I was pretty fucking hungry after working the whole day. So I didn't want to, like, wake everyone up by rumbling around in the fucking kitchen. So I was like, McDonald's it is, right? No problem. Let's go get McDonald's. Let's go get burger. No issue with that. Love myself a good burger. Unfortunately, Netherlands is not exactly the best place for that. We don't have fantastic burgers. We have decent ones, but I wouldn't say they're, like, amazing. But yeah, anyway. So I go over there, and this massive fucking storm that I had no idea was gonna happen decides to fucking touch down while I'm in there. And so I'm sitting there eating my fucking French fries, and outside, right, all I hear is just like that. And I look outside, it is fucking downpouring rain, and probably, like, I'm not kidding, probably 30 to 40 mile an hour winds. It was fucking nuts. And I had to stay in there for like an hour and a half. And then finally, I walk back outside. As I'm walking out the McDonald's, hold on, where's the picture? I took a picture of this. As I'm walking out the McDonald's, yeah. Fuck, where is it? God damn it. Yeah, right here. This is what it looked like when I walked out the McDonald's. Hold on, just take a look at this. So, the trash can got blown over, right? There's a sign in the distance there that's knocked over. You can't really tell because, yeah, there's a sign back there that's knocked over in the drive-thru. You can see there's fucking rain everywhere. Like, it's fucking nuts. Way to ruin a nice meal. Yeah, and then this morning I went to walk my my dog. Actually, no. After that, sorry. Last night I'm biking back home, right? I'm biking back home. Look at this. This is in the middle of the fucking bike lane. A fucking tree got blown over, and it's just lying there in the middle of the fucking thing. Like, okay. I had to, like, literally, I had to go onto the fucking the car part of the road to get around it, because I literally could not, like, do it otherwise. Actually, looking at it, I probably could have just biked over the stem of the tree, because I have a fucking mountain bike, so I probably would have been fine. And then this morning, I went to walk my dog, In the dog park, another tree got blown over. Look at this. This was just lying down. It got blown over by the wind. And then I went towards the beach. Or, well, towards the lake, I should say. There's a beach at the lake. And part of the fence that separates the road from the, like, beach area, I don't know if you can see that. That is a fence lying in the grass. So, it was pretty fucking scary. How irregular is the weather there? Not irregular at all. This is literally just the fucking climate change doing its thing. That is literally just all this is. Because this is like, the best way that I can describe that storm is it was like, think of either Hawaii or like the Philippines or something like that. That is the kind of storm that this was. That's the best way that I can describe it. Like something of that, that sort. But the fact that we get that kind of shit in the Netherlands now, that is fucking terrifying. Now, does that mean that I'm going to start taking, like, friendly environment stuff, that kind of shit, more seriously? No. I guess we're all dying together. It's just nice to know that the generation after me is going to have to suffer with this. Because I don't like those people anyway. So they can deal with this whole climate change debacle after I'm dead. Have fun. Okay, bro. Bitch. Where'd the other guy go? There's another guy back there, wasn't there?
Killing spree.
Even recycling is a scam? How? How is recycling a scam? I don't understand that one. I'm gonna go downstairs in a second to grab another iced Coke. Or, well, I poured the Coke already. I just need to grab some ice cubes. Because I can feel my body, like, heating up. Like, my back is drenched in sweat again already. Which you might think, Aspect, why the fuck do you have a, the cloth I have behind me? Because that's only going to make me more warm. But I don't want to drench my new chair in sweat, you know? I don't feel like that's a good idea, Chief. So let's just not. You were AFK, man. Only 2% of the trash is actually recycled. True. Yeah, no, like, in general, any kind of company that claims to be like, oh, we strive for, friendly environments. Or those, like either friendly environment or, like, companies that claim that they're trying to fight, like, homelessness or anything like that. I don't trust any of them. Not a single fucking one. In my mind, they're all a scam. I don't care if there are a few of them that actually are good. I remember hearing the story once. There was a company in, I believe it was in New York, that was, like, trying to fight homelessness. And basically, they keep, like, raising money to fight homelessness, right? And apparently only a very small amount of that money actually goes to, like, homeless people, because the rest is used for, like, covering expenses, paying their employees, yada yada, and so only a very small amount actually goes towards homeless people. And I remember reading that, and it absolutely pissed me off. And I was like, all right, fuck all you guys. I don't trust any of you. And before you ask, yes, that does absolutely mean that I don't trust any of those companies now because of one bad experience. That absolutely is what that means, and I don't care what you say. I'm just a believer of, if you want to do something about that, like, if that's a cause you believe in, you should act on it yourself. Not give money to the company and be like, hey, man, make me look good by me giving you this money and you doing something with it, and then they don't actually end up doing anything with it. Oh, there's one guy bench, huh? Why did I switch weapons? What the fuck am I doing? Okay, I'm gonna go grab some ice cubes for my drink. I'll be right back. Alright. I got my ice cubes. They're definitely doing their work. For sure. Let me refill. Hold up. I'm gonna refill my Coke just so it's a full cup for when I queue, you know? Let's actually start playing video games here. Like, I've only been live for almost 3 hours and haven't actually played the game. Which I do most of my streams nowadays because... I don't know. Recently, I don't know, I just can't seem to, like, play CS in a normal environment. It's either I have hardware issues, or I'm not motivated to play the game, or I want to play something else, or it's always something, and it's pissing me off, to be honest. All hail ice cubes. I swear to fucking god. Alright. Oh yeah, I should probably turn my headset back on, huh? Right. Cash. Only cash. It's the only map we're queuing. Now that I have all my utility, hopefully I'll be able to win some easy games. Boom. There we go. Servers in EU Frankfurt are experiencing high load. Yeah, because the servers are probably burning up in the heat. I'm not even joking. That's most likely what's happening. My my mobile internet, like my fucking 5G signal, is actually, or 4G, whichever one, is actually worse because of the heat. Because I'm pretty sure some of the fucking, like, mobile towers or whatever they're called, mobile internet towers. They were just like struggling, and they're like overheating or something. I'm fairly certain that's what's happening because my connection is terrible right now, and it's never this bad. Too mad and I don't wanna do that. It hurts bad and I don't wanna move fast. I move fast and I try hard to move fast. All the pain cause I'm looking for a bright side in my life. Cause you only got one life. Need advice from the future, am I alright? If this fight feels like something from your own life, then one time let me hear you say, things will get hard and leave you covered in scars, but I know I can get out of this. And I feel like life moves way too fast to hold on to things from the past. So goodbye to things I'll never miss. We don't run, no, we're staying together and hold on. Through the angry weather we all want to make something better, I know. And my trust has been torn and shredded, it's been rough, but I try to forget it and move on to a place where I can grow. What song is this? It is Things I'll Never Miss by Nefex. Here, I'll put it on screen while we're in queue. Am I gonna get a game on cash or what? I would assume everyone's playing this because it's about to get into active duty. Have I been in the queue for almost 3 minutes and I'm still not getting anything? You can't find me 10 people in Europe to play cash without a rank? Maybe that's the problem. Maybe everyone already has a rank and I'm just behind. Because I keep getting draws on this map. I always draw. I never win. Ah! We got one. Here, actually, I'll go back in the playlist. I have another very low cortisol song. Where is it? This one. I love this one. This one's really good. I'm gonna turn it up. I needed something, someone to trust in, yeah. I needed something to get me through this life. Never saw you coming, and now we're just running, yeah. You make me feel nothing when we're driving through the night. And I've been looking all around at the places. Hello, guys. When I was seeing so many different places. How do we God damn. Everything is right. Alright, I gotta put it lower though. What is that profile picture of yellow and green on my team? What the hell? I'll go mid. Sounds like B. Yeah. B, I think. Oh, B, oh, B. One CT. One more CT. One more sights and one headshot. Backside. Oh. God damn it. I don't know my pathing. Oh! You can win this. Ah. Unlucky, bro. Do you want to push him in? I can flash him in for you. Flashing now. Nice, bro. I'm telling you. Why do we have 3 people here? Okay, I have a shotgun. This is a bad idea. There could be one in Squeaky. Okay, it's probably B, yeah. And bomb is planted. We actually might win this. one guy. Sights. Well, we won an eco by me flashing a main, so... This util is definitely gonna help, for sure. Unfortunately, my team just decides to not talk. I would like an 97, actually. I'll give you a push. I take shots of the haters with a sawed off. You better keep me up or not off. One shot. Oh my god, I will not stop. I kind of want to go B and do the B smoke, and then go to checkers. Actually, no, I'll do the mid util first. Okay, bro. Ooh. Gonna leave. Oh, nice. Oh, but that would be. Planting one. Sight. Galil. Oh, it's a P90. Well, the util seems to be helping, but these guys also just don't seem to really care. These guys are just here for a good time. They don't give a fuck what happens. Honestly, that's probably for the better. I mean, we do have a guy going 6-1, which is nice. Oh, nice. I have a good B spawn. I'm gonna do the B util. Just gonna sit in there like a rat. Okay. I guess I'm pushing B main. I mean, last guy's probably not here. Last guy's B main for some reason. Okay, bro. Bombs down on A. Your whole team died there. You're lurking B main. Like, sure. He's low. I hit him a lot. I'm gonna buy up next round and go for a pick somewhere. Either in A main or in B main. Because they don't really... Well, maybe now they'll go mid because it's the one place they haven't tried. Imagine this guy 1v5s. Nah, I don't think he clears this. Yeah. Way too fast to hold on. Things from the past to world by the things I'll never miss. I peek B main.
What?
I peek B main with AVP.
Opa.
Did he say Opa? Bomb, bomb, bomb. I really wish I didn't do that, to be honest. But it's okay. I mean, I don't have the most kills, but I feel like I've won them at least like 2 out of the 3 rounds. I've clutched 2 post plants and I got bombed down early round. Really worried about a flank here, actually. Oh, God. He was here, no? They can go mid behind us as well. Yep.
Aruba.
Okay, I need to stop this. This is gonna get my fucking stream claimed. I've been with 5 solos versus 5-stack games in a row. Yeah, that's Premiere for you. It do be like that, unfortunately.
Let's go.
I go B again.
Up.
It seems to work. Hey man, what the fuck?
Laying down smoke. Incendiary out.
Please fall for it again. Interesting.
Grenade out. Throwing fire. Laying down smoke.
I'll just get on the same angle. Like, thank you for the free map control. Like, I'll fucking take it, you know?
Grenade out. Flashbang.
They have to be in front of a,
Incendiary.
I was about to say, there's no way they aren't. Oh, wow, they're actually... Oh. That's not good. One quarter somewhere.
Throwing a grenade.
Блять. Oh.
Diffusing.
Bro just killed the whole team. Works. I'm just trying to get my rank back so I can get my medal. I stopped giving a fuck about medals like 2 seasons ago. I do not care. I did it the first season by accident just because I grinded Premiere at one point when I was like 14k and I was like, I'm gonna play Premiere because I don't know. I don't know why I did it. I just did. And then now I never really do it anymore, to be honest.
Smoke. Throwing fire.
Holy shit.
Incendiary. Grenade out. Grenade out.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave mid here. I think they're in front of B. They're definitely in front of B.
Deploying flashbang.
Last B main.
Throwing flashbang. Alright.
There's a guy going 12 and 2 in our team. And I think it's the B defender. Or is it? I don't know. I wasn't paying attention to the kill feed, to be honest. Oh, they're insta-smoking window.
Deploying flashbang.
Is he gonna go for it again? Please go for this again.
Grenade. Incendiary out.
I will hold this the entire round. I do not give a fuck. Okay, never mind. I have now started to give a fuck. Wait, he got bombed? Brother.
Smoke.
I think they go back to B. Never mind.
Stuck right into them.
I guess he killed the other guy. I thought there was 2 alive. I thought it was 2v2. I'm not paying attention at all. This is fucking boring.
Gear up.
I'll go A main. Fuck it. I'll go for an A main peek. I'm feeling it.
Incendiary. Flashbang. Incendiary out.
Get mid. Could be squeaky as well, actually. Fuck.
Laying down smoke. Throwing a grenade.
Free
Where?
B.
Okay, I'm coming.
Flashbang. Laying down smoke. Throwing fire. Grenade out.
Ah, why would you do this? Nice.
Defusing.
These guys are tilted as fuck. 62 on Wazoo. It's pretty good.
Piece of cake.
Why are you playing it though, is my question. I don't think there was anyone A that round, so I think I can go for the A main peak again. I should be able to. Because I don't think there was anyone that realized that I did it last round. Especially if I do the same flash, they'll be like, yeah, okay.
Throwing fire. Deploying flashbang. Throwing flashbang.
Out A.
Throwing fire. Throwing a grenade.
Are you kidding me, bro? Finally. Holy shit. Okay. Last mid, no? Which is why I'm going to aggressively push this with an AWP. Yeah, mid. Oh, it was green, sorry.
Easy lemon squeezy.
I thought I heard him, but I guess it was green that I heard. I didn't realize I could hear that from all the way down mid. Green was like on the opposite side of it. He was like outside of A main. How the fuck can I hear that from over there? Unless it's enhanced because it's my teammate, which is dumb if that's the case.
Let's give it to them, boys.
Mid.
Incendiary out.
Now, why would you do that?
Grenade out. Throwing fire. Grenade. Throwing a grenade. Throwing fire.
What the hell?
Grenade out. Throwing flashbang. Throwing smoke.
I hope that smoke landed.
Flashbang.
Up mid.
Deploying flashbang.
That's a scout. Mid with scouts one. Dead A. Last mid with scouts. You can't kill me with a scout, bitch. Who do you think you are? Bum, ba, bum. Ba, 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 da, ba, ba, bum. Why are you hacking? Lol.
Throwing smoke. Throwing fire. Flashbang. Flashbang.
B-rush, B-rush, B-rush. They left B. Shit. Nope. Nice. We seem to be doing pretty well. Good half. 18 and 4. Good half. Why is that funny? Gold Nova rank, by the way.
I'll stay here.
Okay, sure. I will smoke mid. I like how we lost the pistol and won everything else. Okay, I'll take bomb, блядь. Oi, блядь. Okay. That mid guy's good. I'm not picking that. Alright. Pushing mid. I mean, it's fine. We just need 2 rounds. So who cares? Let's rush him. Let's rush him. Ready? Go. Go, go, go. Free plants. If we win this, I swear to fucking God. Oh my God, how did we win this? They fucking suck. Plus 40 Celsius, by the way. Not wrong. Hey, I gotta hand that one to him. It probably is plus 40 Celsius where he's living. But also, is that my problem? No. Oh, I didn't smoke mid. Sorry, boys. I forgot to smoke mid. What? Fucking bitch. Of course he lands at my head. Oh my God. One in mid with AK. Bro said fuck it. Bro, look at both of them. Holy shit. I can't even type disconnect anymore. Holy fuck. Oh! Nice. What the fuck is this revolver? I want that. And a Dreams and Nightmares case. I haven't seen one of these in forever. Because I'm pretty sure they suck. Use X-ray scanner. You know what? Let's do it. Never mind. I thought you were able to scan what's inside it first and then buy it. Or something like that. Do we need to buy the genuine PT50 X-ray first to be able to do that? Bro, I haven't seen this case in forever. What's even in here? Oh yeah, it's the AK Nightwish. I remember. This is the case that Hikes pulled an Huntsman Emerald from. At one point. I got an MG? Alright. Fair enough. No. Please go back to, yeah, this is good enough. There we go. I'll raise the music a little bit too. There we go.
Let's go.
Nice.
I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to work, cause my boss is a jerk, and I'm not even that paid. I need a change in my life, cause I don't feel alive, and there's nothing that makes me happy. Hold my beer for a minute, I'm about to quit my job, cash in for a ticket. I'm going on a trip, and I don't plan to visit. I'm gonna stay there till I feel like I'm winning, and this is just the beginning. I need a big change, help me feel like living. I need a big swing, home runs I'm hitting, and I'll never look back, moving on till I get it all. And we all got dreams.
Let's roll.
We all want things, but what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be?
Did I buy an M4 a single time that previous game? I don't think I did, because I only died twice. I never had to buy a gun. Ah, you bitch. Yeah, bro thought. Bitch. Hello, guys. Solid. All right. So, 2 teams back to back that don't talk. Cool. I was gonna say, do we have 2 AFKs?
Throwing fire.
A rush, A rush. How the fuck am I alive? How did I kill 3? Oh, please don't lose it now. Oh my god. This guy's not gonna... Lovely. The classic, if I don't kill, no one else does. We love it. Yeah, honestly, I'm gonna just do this. Guys, do you want to push A main? I can flash for you. Come. Squeaky, out. Go, forklift, 2A. Forklift's in A main. What the fuck is this guy doing? What was that? Oh no. And they don't know how to peek either. Look at how he's peeking. He's just holding shift the whole time. Where is his teammate? That's actually a great question. He was in mid. Did he run back to A main? Okay, it doesn't even matter. Holy shit. Well, this is cooked. Defeat yourself and family. Max 7. Well, maybe MP7 actually, or just 5. You know what? No, 5-7. Fuck it. I'm doing a half buy. And I don't care. Or is that mid? I have a feeling they're gonna come back to A at some point. I should have pushed this way earlier though. Never mind, it works. Garage last. Oi, блядь! What the fuck? What the fuck? What was that? He just got fucking banged through the wall. What was that? The fucking AK went flying. The hell was that? I guess I'll go A. Squeaky. Brother. Сука, куда пошел нахуй? Full moon, the only light you make me feel like I'm doing alright. Feel good inside, maybe a little high. Me feel like I'll be alright. I feel so alive with you by my side. We can make a life. I've got nothing to hide. Driving so fast, every town pass. Make a look back. We're good at that, cause I feel so alive. Damn, you look good tonight. Ой. Интернет нахуй. Yeah, feel free to come truck, by the way. Okay, what the hell? Hello? Did my internet die? My internet died, didn't it? Okay, never mind, I'm back. It just spiked to like 1,000. What was that? Okay. Well, I spent the whole round. Bro, what is my internet doing? Why is it spiking to 600 ping? What is this? My stream is fine. I'm not dropping any frames, am I? No. Am I getting DDoSed? What is this? What if I pause the music? Would that help?
Come on, chop.
Dude, it just keeps spiking now. But I'm not dropping any frames.
Throwing fire. Throwing smoke.
I am mad. Okay. Great.
Grenade out.
B main. One more B main. He has AK. I'm gonna restart my game. Maybe that'll help. I don't know what the fuck just happened. I'm not, like, using an insane amount of internet or anything, am I? No, it's just OBS. So what the hell? Hopefully restarting it will fix this shit, because what the hell? I don't like it when it does this. I need to carry this team. They can't win without me. Can you launch the game? Computer? Oh, now my frames are dropping.
Let's roll.
There we go. Hopefully now it'll be fine.
Nice.
They even won around without me. Crazy. I peek B main. Oh fuck, it's still not fixed. Okay, it's an internet issue.
For Queen Country, man.
God, that sucks. I might not be able to... Fuck. Wow, it's really bad. Oh, it's really bad. Oh my god, it's so bad. I can't play the game, man. What the fuck? Dude. Throw all this shit on, I guess. I don't know. Maybe that'll fix it somehow. No, it's still spiking. Bro, I can't... Why? Why does this always happen, man? Literally not allowed to play CS on stream anymore. Like, what are these spikes? I'm at 400... What the fuck? Yeah, my stream died. I might have to just abandon this game. I don't think I'm gonna be able to, like... Oh. I get the VP. I'm gonna try one more. Oh, I'm gonna try once more, I should say. Yeah, it's... Nah, it's still fucked. I don't think I can finish this game.
Son.
I mean, this is literally unplayable. Like, what am I supposed to do, you know what I mean? Like, you see how much just, like, stutter stepping? That's what's making it so, like, insufferable. 1B main with scouts. If they drop down from the vents and checkers, I can hear that, right?
Throwing flashbang.
Bro, I tried moving. I'm at 500 ping. Yeah, there's no way. I have to abandon, I think. B main still. B main.
Fire.
He's in, like, sunroom right now. What the fuck am I supposed to do, man? Bro, well, guys, looks like the stream is over. I still got a kill. That's crazy. What? Okay, yeah, I'm dropping this off and I'm abandoning. Here, take this. So, bro, I can't even... help. Okay, yeah. Quit. That is not... No. I don't know what the fuck just happened. I can't play that. I guess this is where the stream ends. Unfortunate. I am not allowed to play the game anymore. And I'm pretty sure this also restarted my VOD, which is even better, because I love when that happens. It's very convenient. Yeah, my internet is just dead. Like, even YouTube isn't loading anymore. Yeah, it's just dead. Yeah, it's completely fucked. Alright, well, looks like I'll be seeing you guys later then. Because I can't play the game anymore. Or stream, for that matter. Yep, it is completely fucked. Well, that's great. Looks like I will be leaving. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.